Before we dive into today's episode, don't forget to check us out at bestyearever_pod on Instagram, bestyearever on YouTube and Blue Sky, or send us an email at bestyeareverpod@gmail.com. Also, don't forget to like, comment, rate, and subscribe on all your preferred podcast listening platforms.
All right, let's start this shit.
Hell yeah. I'm sorry, I don't have adjectives for y'all. I couldn't bring myself to do it. But okay.
You weren't gonna give me Elena Bonham Carter's adjectives?
No. Actually, I did pick out characters for y'all still. Jesus, your character is the priest turned Fight Club member.
Yep.
Aristotle, your character is the bartender with like the whole There you go. All right.
Okay.
Welcome to Best Year Ever, a movie podcast where each week, one movie at a time, we attempt to answer this very important question. Was blank year the best year ever for movies? Right now, we're in between seasons, so this week we're talking about Jesus' movie of choice. But before we dive in, I'm your host, Casey, and with me is my co-host, Jesus, and one of our reoccurring characters, Aristotle. Hi, you guys.
Hello.
I love that Aristotle is a character. He is a character.
Reoccurring character.
Best Year Ever universe.
Yes.
We are in 1999. We went back to 1999.
Yeah.
And you said it was one of my movies of choice. Yes, but also I feel like you needed to see this movie. It's a movie of choice. And I just want to justify that I'm going to choose next week's movie also. I have
That's so funny. Okay. Yeah.
So I'm going to say, yes, movie of choice. Mine. Normally, it's one of my favorite movies when I choose a movie. This never's been on my top 10 even. Like, this never has been my favorite movies. I think this time around that we rewatched it, I think you broke my top 10 movie.
Okay.
I think you made it. Maybe 10 or 9. But what movie are we watching, Casey? And then I'll ask you, Aristotle, what you think about this movie. But Casey, what movie are we watching?
Fight Club. Yay.
We don't talk about Fight Club.
Talk about it.
But clearly we do.
Also, I didn't remember there were 8 other rules in Fight Club. I didn't remember there were so many rules.
I didn't know that was going to happen. I always knew about the first 2 rules, but I didn't know that there was more. I noticed Casey, Letterboxd review, great Letterboxd review, but I laughed so hard that Letterboxd prompted you, right?
Yes.
I thought that was
crazy.
That was awesome. I was like, I didn't.
How was that a spoiler?
Look, if I had read it before watching the movie, I would have been like, oh, damn, okay.
We'll get into your review, but I agree with your review, actually.
I don't think I've ever been prompted like that before, and that it was so specific to that movie, I thought was really cool, and also noted, as you said, what an important movie this is for the time. That, like, I didn't get that for The Running Man, which I also just saw, but, you know.
I saw it yesterday. It's a great movie.
Fun movie.
I feel like The Running Man, it kind of same themes and same story points as Fight Club.
I would say
that.
Yes, there's a lot to talk about in Fight Club. I was not expecting. I'm excited about it.
This I think you remember saying that this is your first time watching? I mean, about Fight Club, this was your first time watching.
First time watching it. This also reminded me, I should have asked her. I know one year for Halloween, I went, like, I'm talking like as a child at that time. So I was 7. I went as Brad Pitt, and like my mom got me a red leather jacket, and
I was going to ask which version of Brad Pitt.
We cut out a piece of paper color drawing of the bar of soap that said Fight Club, so I could show people like I'm Brad Pitt.
Aww.
But I didn't see the movie, so I don't know why we did that.
Why not?
How about you, Casey? First time watching it?
Yeah. Had no idea what I was signing up for. So that was pretty awesome. It was pretty great. I feel really bad for my sister-in-law, Era, who like went to film school. So she's never watched the movie, but she studied it so many, like in so many different variations that she already knows it. And I'm like, that kind of sucks. Like this is a movie to like experience, like start to finish, you know?
Did you know about well, both of you knew about the plot twist?
No.
Yeah. Oh, I did.
I did not. that's why I was so fucking devastated. Like, I was heartbroken.
So you found out real time
Yeah.
while watching the movie.
Yeah. And I was like, fuck. Okay.
Was it at the reveal, or did you have
Yes.
like...
It was at the reveal. Yeah.
Movie that's really good at not giving anything away.
Yeah.
But still putting little seeds where once you know, you can... okay.
Yeah.
Because at the beginning, it says the narrator or Tyler says, I know it because Tyler knows it. If he just gives it away right away, we'll start the movie. But this is not my first time watching this movie. I've seen it before. I think I saw it when it came out.
Not your first Fight Club.
It's not my first Fight Club. I did not talk about it. No, when it came out, it's kind of like same experiences of Punta Saints, of little shithead 16-year-old Jesus thinking this is the best thing ever. I want to be in a Fight Club and down with the system and all that. I feel like 15, 16 was when, as a teenager, you start rebelling against authority and all that. So to me, this was kind of like, oh yeah, the man. This is when I started thinking about the man. But I've said this before, and I'll say it again, 1999 was a very distinct era where it's just bored white men trying to rebel against this not well-defined the man. But if like you watch the movie, they all had jobs. They were fine. They bought stuff. Now it's like, oh, we don't have jobs. That's kind of like the Running Man. That's why the Running Man is more relevant now, because nobody had a job or money for medicine. But they were all okay. Everyone in Fight Club, first of all, white man. Second of all, they seem living comfortable lives. Third of all, I feel like if you do Fight Club today, it will be a harder time because you will have be very specific who the bad guy is. Like right now, the bad guy is billionaires, and we know which billionaires we're talking about. Like they have names, and they're CEOs, and they're specific people. I feel like in the 90s, it was more, I don't know, not well-defined, the man, corporations kind of thing.
The news maybe wasn't as in your face as it is now, and it's certainly not on Instagram on everyone's feed every morning.
And that's exactly what I was thinking. Like now all of these CEOs and billionaires have Twitter and have Instagram, and they post endless selfies about themselves. So now we know exactly who they are. But back then, they were just faceless entities. Speaking of faceless entities, let's go into Letterboxd. Horrible segue. Our very own Casey Glynn. You gave it 4.5 stars.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a really good movie.
You know, I was excited for you to watch this because I knew you were either going to love it or hate it. And I'm glad you loved it.
Yeah.
Your review reads, too busy being heartbroken that this isn't a romance. I'll consider the larger societal impacts of the film at a later date. I think it was a romance with oneself between Taylor and Taylor.
But yeah, no, totally. Like in my head, I was like, wow, this like walked so Brokeback Mountain could run. You know, like I was going there. I was like, I can't wait to get on TikTok and see like all the edits, you know? Like
you want them to kiss.
Yes, like kiss. And then I was like, oh, okay, yeah.
Which leads very nicely to, I think this is my favorite review. There's a lot of really good reviews, but this 5-star and a hard review. First watch, Fight Club is the best movie ever made. Second watch, Fight Club is a deep commentary on the dangers of consumerism. Third watch, Fight Club is a disgusting cesspool of toxic masculinity, and it is not as deep as its fanboys think it is. Fourth watch, Fight Club is a critique of toxic masculinity, and it's deeper than its fanboys think it is. Finally, fifth watch, Fight Club is the best satirical gay rom-com ever made.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of reviews akin to that. There's one 5-star review. Fellas, it is gay. There's a bunch of... there's this one I like. 4.5 stars. I love Fight Club, but I hate people who love Fight Club.
I saw that one too.
Tyler Durden is a fashion icon. Yep.
It's not unlike being a fan of Rick and Morty, where I'm like, yes, I love it, I get it, but also everyone else that likes it sucks.
Yeah, like you got to keep it secret. Like you got to keep it on the DL.
No, I feel like right now, because Rick and Morty is not as popular, the fans are better.
Yeah.
Yeah. This 5-star review, bro, this fella gay as fuck for hallucinating Brad fucking Pitt in a slutty little outfit to hang out with.
Brad Pitt looked so much like Benicio del Toro in this movie for me. Like, I just kept seeing him, and I was like, I can't not see him.
That is weird.
I see that now. I did not get that, but
It's okay. You know what? There are so many people online that agree with my take, so it's fine, you know?
But Brad Pitt was in drag the whole movie. He was just in drag.
Mm-hmm.
He looks so good, though. I was like, I forgot he's still handsome now, but god damn, he looks good in this movie.
I told Casey that like when people are getting in shape, a lot of them, Brad Pitt is like, I want to get Brad Pitt shape. This is the Brad Pitt in shape people are talking about. Like, this is it. Like,
fortunately, though, he was 5'11" and weighed like 160 pounds. And so, like, that's not even muscle. That's just like pure skinniness, which is crazy.
Yeah.
This is a little off Fight Club, but I followed up Fight Club by watching the show on Netflix called Physical Asia. Have you seen or heard of this?
Oh, I've heard of it. I haven't seen it. I heard it.
It's awesome. It's the perfect follow-up to Fight Club. I'll leave it at that. We don't have to talk about it. But
I do want to watch it, and I'll end with this review. 5 stars and a heart. I would like to see a version of this without Brad Pitt. Just Edward Norton talking to himself and beating himself up for 2 hours.
No, somebody out there, there's a YouTube edit. I have no doubt about it.
Yes, I would learn how to rotoscope Brad Pitt out of the whole movie.
That's really
and I will spend the next 2 months and a half editing him out and doing this edit.
I was shocked for so many reasons because everyone says it's such a good movie. But even that, like, I had the experience of struggling with what was the subject matter of this movie, while it also being a great, incredibly well-made film. Edward Norton beating himself up was like, this is masterful. He is so good right now.
Yeah,
he is so good. Edward Norton has one of those faces that I want to punch and get beat up, and he did this for me in this movie.
Yeah.
I just don't like Edward Norton. I don't like most of these people in this movie, and they all get beat up, especially one person.
I was going to say,
beat up.
He looked so cute here, though. I was like, oh, little baby Jared Leto. He's so adorable.
I mean, we'll talk about him, but hey, this is a good segue for the background. The Fight Club, with a budget of 63 to 65 million, box office of 101 million, which surprised me. I thought it made more. It's not a big hit. Like, if you take consideration marketing and all that, it's not a big hit. It was directed by David Fincher, edited by James Haygood, music by the Dust Brothers, which I always thought they were the Chemical Brothers, but they're different, I think. But great music. Starring Brad Pitt as Tyler Durden, Edward Norton as the narrator / spoilers, Tyler Durden, Helena Bonham Carter as Marla Singer, Meatloaf as Bob. I had no idea.
Yeah.
And that's it. No one else of note started in this movie. No one else. Yeah, Jared Leto's in it as Angel Face. Whatever.
There were some other good people in the Fight Club that I was like, wow, he's in this. Like, I wish I could remember their names, but
Paul McCannley using his face, Zach Greener as Tyler Durden's boss and like the corporate boss thing. There is a bunch of not well-known actors back then, but now well-known actors now and character actors. So yeah, there's a bunch of it. Those three are the main ones. They put Jared Leto here because he's Jared Leto now, but he wasn't really that big.
He wasn't shit. That's why they had to beat him up.
He was 30 Seconds to Mars back in 1999. Like that was like the band was kind of popular back then, I think.
I can't imagine because this was 99. Gerard Way doesn't even conceive My Chemical Romance until 2001, and The Kill comes out around the same time as Three Cheers for Sweet Revenge, which is their second album. So we're talking like 2006, 7 for 30 Seconds to Mars.
These are things that mean nothing to Casey. So
yeah.
But you and me are all our millennial heart, like right here. 30 Seconds to Mars was amazing back then. It was their
they were crushing.
Their 20-minute long music videos was the best thing ever.
And I remember the CD came packaged in like a white plastic wrap, which was it was different. Yeah. It was no one else was doing that.
Yeah. Oh man, the innovators. But let's start the movie before we we bored Casey too much.
Look, I liked 30 Seconds to Mars when I listened to it on 102.1 The Edge on my way to school back in the day.
God.
The radio.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. All right, let's start this movie. The movie starts surprisingly with a lot of CGI that I did not remember.
It's a lot in this movie.
It's a lot of, and it's good. Like, it holds up. Like,
that was my first note.
Except that weird looking penguin at some point. But I think for the most part, the CGI holds up. I did write in my notes, okay, Spider-Man 2, because this was a Spider-Man 2 start.
Yeah.
I just could hear Sam Raimi.
I just wrote crazy intro. Like, it like comes out swinging.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Very 90s, early 2000s music. I was okay with the start of the movie is the end of the movie trope. I usually hate it, but the only reason that I like to hear was because I love it when the movie gives away the ending right at the beginning of the movie. And that's one of the reasons why I like The Last Jedi, because The Last Jedi does the same thing.
Mm. I think it also does a good job, like you said, tricking us for the twist later. Because even when the twist comes, then you're still like, wait, but then how do we end up there? Like, what?
It has like a lot of really good shots. Like, the cinematography is pretty great too. And I forget that cinematographer, but I looked at him like, he didn't do much after this. But it was great shot. I think it was all David Fincher, honestly. Yeah, so I like that it's kind of like the beginning and the end, but also unreliable narrator. Because it starts at the end and then it goes to Bob's tits. And I saw it behind the scenes where they did 2 Fat Bob suits, one with nipples, one without nipples. And they shot every scene with and without nipples in case Fox didn't want the nipples. And they did end up with the nipples. This is made or break the movie, obviously.
Well, yeah. This is also why Bob, never takes off his shirt, even though that's a rule of Fight Club, because they're like, this is going to get fucking censored.
Also, it was probably really hard to make a realistic looking fat suit.
Yeah.
That, like, is skin and everything. Like, imagine. But, yeah, that's right. He never took off. He also was one of the members that didn't shave his head in Project Mayhem.
Yeah. It was a little crazy. Like, there's some, like, there are shaved heads. There's some people with mohawks. And I was like,
it's inconsistent.
Yeah, it is inconsistent,
Yeah, but also I think it's favorites. I think there's favoritism.
For sure, yeah.
Because Bob was the narrator's favorite.
Yeah.
And Angel Face was Tyler's, like Brad Pitt, Tyler favorite, I think.
Bob was my favorite too, I get it.
I love Bob. I didn't know it was Meatloaf. I didn't connect it was Meatloaf. So he kind of explains the whole, like I said, this is very Office Space. I'm bored. I have a shitty job. I buy all these things that it doesn't matter, consumerism, all that. I fucking love IKEA, by the way. Like I'm gonna buy IKEA all my life. I have cats. I have cats. Cats are gonna wreck furniture. I'm not gonna ever buy anything expensive. The only expensive thing I have is this chair. It is an antique, but it's in my it's in my office. Like cats aren't allowed here. So I'm okay with the Q. But it goes through all the like, on board typical thing from the late 90s. And we find out that the narrator, which we don't know his name, has insomnia. I think around this time you see a Tyler Durden blip. I think it's the first time. I saw it 3 times. I caught it 3 times. Did you catch them, Casey?
I did, but it wasn't, I like didn't realize obviously until I saw Tyler, and then I was like, oh, that must have been him, because like it was like flashes of red, and I was like, oh, I think it was a red jacket.
That was like such a cool detail, and then when we address it later.
Yeah, great. No, this is a great movie to rewatch. But on the behest of the narrator's doctor, he start going to these support groups because he's like, I'm dying. You're not dying. Go look at the guys that have testicular cancer. They are dying. Weird advice by a doctor, by the way.
Yep. Second nose, crazy doctor. Like, what doctor now would just be like, yeah, here's some sleep pills?
Yeah. Yeah. Like Tyler was like, just give me something. Don't doctors make money if they prescribe drugs? Like,
no clue.
Probably. Believe so.
So the narrator starts going to these support groups, and this is where he meets Bob. I love Bob. Bob's in one of these testicular cancer survivors support groups. He got testicles removed, and he got huge tits. That's his whole cap, which is when he runs. I
think it's also important to note that he admits that he was using steroids, and that even further kind of fucks up his body.
Yeah. Which is kind of part of the whole consumerism, and we take poison to get all these things that we don't really need. Like Bob wanted, he was like a bodybuilder, right? So he cheated his way into bodybuilding and paid the price.
I also think just because this has also been top of mind because Dodgers won the World Series, 90s big time for steroids, golden age of steroids.
Yeah, that's right. You missed out, Casey.
I know. God. If only.
Oh, and throughout all these support groups, the narrator has a fake names, which according to the Fight Club 2 and 3 graphic novels, which are canon to this, his name is not Tyler Durden. He has another name. I forget his real name, but he has another name. So Tyler Durden is also a fake name, but he goes for Cornelius first, and then he kind of changes it up. I do have Bob with a heart here. And then this is where the narrator starts sleeping like a baby again. He needed that release because he cries into Bob's tits. I'm not going to say Bob's tits. Like I have to. We also see around this time his safe place, his cave. And I don't know. I feel like it might be telling about the character that his safe space is this frigid ice cave with a CGI penguin. And the penguin has a creepy child voice.
The penguin is what really threw me off because that's one of those things like, does that mean something or was that actually meaningless? So it's like, there's so many other animals that could represent something. I don't know what a penguin represents.
Penguin a child voice. Then right after this, we start seeing Marla. Marla gets introduced. I think Marla is the main antagonist more than Tyler. This whole movie. Antagonist to the narrator, I think is antagonistic to like the world. I don't think he's a good guy. He's not even like a dark hero or no. He's a bad guy.
He's essentially a cult leader. Like honestly, like
are we talking Edward Norton or Edward Norton combined with this alter ego of Tyler Durden? Okay,
with the alter ego of Tyler.
I'm talking Edward Norton. I'm talking the narrator. And okay, so spoilers, Casey. I want to watch Scott Pilgrim versus the World next week because of the narrator. Because just like the narrator, who's an antagonist, because a protagonist does things. He moves the plot along. He challenges. The narrator doesn't do shit unless Tyler tells him to do something. Like he's just, and that's the point. Scott Pilgrim also throughout the whole movie, he never does anything unless someone tells him to do something. So spoilers, in Scott Pilgrim is the World, for my take, Scott Pilgrim is the antagonist. Anyway, back to
Man versus Self. There you go.
Man versus Self. Man versus Chainsaw. Helicopter Chainsaw. So yeah, so we get introduced to Marla, who is invading the narrator's space. And because Marla's kind of doing the same thing as the narrator, she's taking advantage of these support groups. He starts losing sleep again and starts blaming her. And he finally confronts her like saying, you can't do this. You're lying. You're the deceiver. You're a tourist. And she calls him out right away. She's like, yeah, you practiced this, didn't you? You did. Oh, I wrote this down. At one point, the narrator says, "If I did have a tumor, I'd name it Marla." So yeah, but right away, the narrator, and I'm gonna call him. I mean, we know it's Tyler, but I'm just gonna call him just to differentiate him from Tyler. Is very aggressive to Marla. Like he grabs her arm to talk to her, pretty aggressively,
especially for a stranger. Like they've never. I was also shocked by that.
Yeah. She doesn't give a shit. She is the anarchist. I feel like
Big time.
I don't remember if the Tyler blip happened before or after he meets Marla, but I feel like it's after because Marla is Tyler Durden, like Brad Pitt, Tyler Durden.
I think it's also like I don't think we see the blips until after he starts losing sleep again. It's like he gets really good sleep. He's like stabilized. Mm-hmm. He like reverts back to his insomnia, and then it's like mental break.
We do know a few things about Marla. Like I said, she's a true anarchist. While the narrator and Marla start dividing up support groups because the narrator doesn't want to be around Marla.
That was hysterical.
And Marla was like game. She's like, yeah, sure, whatever, I don't care. Mm-hmm. I think she was annoyed of the narrator also. Mm-hmm. But while they're talking, Marla steals some clothes, sells it to a pawn shop or whatever. So she does whatever. She also walks down the street and there's cars just whizzing by. Mm-hmm. Like I was half expecting that trope where someone walks into the street, turns around, and he says, nothing's gonna happen to me, and then suddenly gets run over by a bus.
Yeah.
Like I was expecting that trope. But yeah, they divide all the support groups, and then we go into the narrator's routine. So he is like an insurance adjuster for a car company. Like he basically determines if there's enough accidents that they have to do a recall, or it's just paying off the injured and not to do the recall for this specific. We never find out which car company, but a car company.
Super interesting job, by the way. Like, incredibly interesting job.
You would think that.
I mean, it's certainly a job that I don't think anyone considers ever. Like, oh, there's someone that does assess those numbers. Mm-hmm. But Graham, I think, also adds to this mental break.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because to a point, you do determine if people are going to get hurt or not. Like there's some thing that you have to disassociate yourself from. Like I don't think I could do this job because I would think about that all the time. Casey might because she's a little crazy.
It's an interesting balancing act to have to be the spokesperson for a corporation that doesn't value human lives, or does in terms of dollars, but you're the one that has to put the dollars to those human lives.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's a lot of mental gymnastics on that.
Just watch Casey's eyes sparkle as you're saying that. Yes, I have the power.
Yeah.
But this is a good intro into, or a good excuse for Tyler / the narrator to travel all over the country. Mm-hmm. Like this is how you get, like they set up the fact that, spoilers, Fight Club gets spread throughout the whole country. How does he do that? That's his job. He just travels for his work. So I think that's pretty smart. Once we get into a part of the routine, and he's in he's explaining the whole thing, and he's in a hotel, and you see he starts talking about the single serving toothbrush, single serving this, serving that, like just hotel life. You get a glimpse of Brad Pitt, Tyler Durden's Brad Pitt, in one of the promos of the hotel. Very The Shining to me. It will always been here. But he comes up with this single serving friend, like so the people that you meet in airplanes. And I also kind of have that. We've traveled a little bit for work, and I like to just to travel. And I do have those people that I talk to, especially in long flights. I think one of the recent ones I flew for 10 hours, and I talked to this old lady for a lot. Not that 10 hours, but a lot.
Yeah, I like that term because same. Those are interactions I enjoy a lot. They're like, I don't remember your name. I'll never know your name. We're never going to see each other again.
But you remember them. Around this time is we get this fantasy that I honestly do have sometimes, where he fantasizes about a mid-air collision, and it's so realistic. Sometimes I'll because I like the window seat, and sometimes I'll look out the window and then try to see if a light is coming directly to us or not. I don't know what that says about me, but I do think about that when I'm flying.
Just some like chill suicidal ideation. Totally fine. Just some intrusive thoughts. It's okay.
It's not suicidal because I'm not in control. That's the fantasy, I think, or the idea. Like you have zero control over anything that you do in an airplane. And
that's
that's the point.
We are so on the opposite spectrum of that, because that's why I hate flying. Is like, if I would prefer my death be of my own fault. If I'm not in control of my like, what was?
I don't have the thoughts when I'm driving. Like I'm not the one person that is driving. And what if I just do this and drive off the ditch? Like I don't do that at all. Like I have.
But do you think oh, what if somebody hit me right now? You know?
No, because then I'm gonna just do this. Like
so, it's just in planes specifically for you.
Because I have zero control. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a comfort in like, you know what? I don't have control, so I can imagine how I would like just worst case scenario kind of thing. And then my immediate thought after that is, well, but there's 200 other people here, and there's also kids over there, so I feel bad. So I hope that doesn't happen. So I do feel bad for the other people. I
think I mentioned Family Guy last time, but there is a great Family Guy episode early on. Do you remember this, where he gets to be death?
Oh my God, yes.
Yes.
And they're like, I need you to kill everyone on this plane. And it's like nuns, babies, mom, like.
Yeah.
Although, as a recovered Catholic, there's something in me. If I see a especially Catholic priest in an airplane, I'm like, we're safe. That's what happened.
Right.
Okay.
I once had to fly from Washington to Hershey, and it's like a 20-minute flight in a small airplane, like a 20-seater or something like that. The ones that you kind of go like this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I hate this. Propeller.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh fuck. So I'm in the tarmac because you walk up, and then there's it's like a 5-year-old in front of me, and there's like a priest behind me, and I'm like, we're safe. It's fine. God wouldn't do this.
You're a strong believer in this trolley problem, huh? Like you're like, you know what? Nobody's gonna choose to kill the priest and the child. So if I'm sandwiched between them, we're good.
That is just to also tie it back with later parts of the movie that I was struggling with, is like, that's also a great test for the priest. Or you look to the priest and like, at what point does your faith go out the window? Or are you true blue? The plane's going down and you're like, God's got me. I'm not even worried.
I had this thought, like, if the plane goes down, do I go to the priest and like, save me, please? Let's go to heaven together. I'm just going to hang on to you. Or do I go to the kid and try to comfort him? Like, it's going to be fine. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're flying with Brad Pitt. This is where we meet Tyler Durden. I think this is a perfect segue for this because we're getting philosophical. So this is when Tyler Durden, in all of his red letter blazer glory, appears. I had so many questions about this appearance. So we're meant to believe, not knowing the spoiler, that the narrator is talking to himself. Like there's no one there. Did he conjure up the soap, the business card? I have a lot of questions about the business card. They had really good design. Well, it had okay design. And it had like a twin symbology and all that, blah, blah, blah. But like, did he find a business card and he made it up that was like the paper salesman business card? Did he have nothing in his hand? I have so many questions.
That's the question I have whenever.
Who designed this?
Well, who does he call? Like after his apartment blows up?
He calls himself. So I did see this somewhere, Easter egg type of videos, that at one point we see his phone number, I think in his office. And then when he calls Tyler, it's his own phone number. So that's why he didn't answer.
That's super nitty gritty details.
But yeah, there are things that if you really start thinking about it, that doesn't make sense. But it's fine.
There's something that happens later. I don't know if I want to jump to it already, but that my biggest question was like, okay, when he's fighting, how does he? But then they show it in the security camera that it's like he's fighting a ghost, dragging himself along the sidewalk. That I was like, this.
I had all caps. Wow. How is he dragging himself? Like, how is he doing that?
But it's also like you see him also kind of pushing himself with his feet. Because that's where I was like,
like, what is this? Is there a supernatural thing happening also?
I'm not sure about that one. But I was shocked whenever he's like fighting himself in front of his boss later on. I was like, oh my God, he's incredibly skilled at this. And I was like,
yes.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Because he already did that.
Yeah.
Well, he says that like I remember my first fight with Tyler.
And so good. I do remember seeing another Letterboxd review that's like, this movie's crazy because you see a man fighting with himself in a parking lot and you decide to join in.
Yeah. You like walk up to him. Crazy.
Yeah. You're like, hey, can I get in on this?
The 90s, man. I feel like the 90s. Now you wish I'd recorded. That's it. That's all you would do.
From a far distance.
The narrator goes to the airport. His luggage is gone or something. They found something vibrating in his luggage. We never really find out what that is. It could be a vibrator. I love it how it could be a vibrator.
Not your vibrator, a vibrator.
Yeah.
I wrote that down. Like, we don't assign it to anyone because that's just no. The narrator sees Tyler stealing a car and driving away. Again, did he steal a car? Did the narrator steal a car? Did he just imagine this whole interaction? Spoilers, did he blow his apartment himself and then went back to the airport? Like, I have questions. But yeah, the whole point of the luggage, I guess, is that he doesn't go to his apartment right away. He stays in the airport for a while. And when he finally goes to his apartment, it's blown up. So they first think it's an accident. There was something with the pilot. Again, crazy CGI, crazy zoom-ins for the apartment. I liked it. I think it holds up. Does it hold up, Casey? Is it just me and my nostalgia glasses?
I didn't like it in this movie. I'll say it. I didn't love it.
Are we talking about the quality of the CGI or the idea of the really fast zoom in and then we're going to zoom into the back of the fridge and then we're going to zoom out?
I just didn't like that this movie had CGI at all. I was just like, I think we could just remove it entirely. And I would be perfectly happy with that. I thought the quality of it was just fine. It was okay.
I agree for the type of movie that this is. It's such a well done, highbrow movie. But I think it adds to the macho satire of it. It was like, if we're going to make a macho movie, we need one of these zoom in kind of scenes.
Yeah.
But the question is, it's kind of like a horse of the cart kind of thing. Did the macho movie edit association that you have happen before this movie or after this movie? I feel like it was after. I feel like after The Matrix, after this movie, after certain movies of the era that had also zoom-ins like that. Also, by the way, so many plot twist movies in 1999. We have at least 3 of them in this podcast of 1999. So I think this type of zoom-ins were more common in music videos and short films like that, because David Lynch comes from directing music videos. Yeah. So I think that was kind of came from that, and then went into the mainstream with movies like this, and now we have that association. That's kind of my feeling. Have nothing to back this up, and I'm not going to do any research after. So yes, the narrator's apartment exploded. He's calling someone. Why doesn't he know anyone? I mean, I guess that's the point. He's a sad, sad man. He knows nobody. He has no friends, no family. He calls Marla first, and Marla's like, what the fuck do you want? Hangs up. Calls himself / Tyler, and they go out drinking. I don't think he was in the narrator's mind. I don't think it was his intention to stay with Tyler at first, but obviously because Tyler is his deepest desires, he wanted to have a friend to stay with, which is really sad.
Yeah, can you imagine how different this movie would have been if he had Bob's number? Like, that would have been a buddy cop movie, you know? Like, that would have been really good.
That would be so wholesome.
Yeah.
God. Bob, and Bob has like 3 or 4 cats.
Yeah. Yeah.
And maybe a Chihuahua or 2 also. Mm-hmm. Basically, I'm Bob.
It's funny.
So they have some drinks. They're talking about how shitty their lives is. Tyler says this: at least a woman could cut off your penis and throw it out of a car. Casey, did you get that reference? It is a reference.
I feel like there's a news story about a woman doing that,
I was like, oh yeah, that was a big thing in the 90s. Lorena Bobbitt mm-hmm. is this woman, abused woman, which they didn't say it in the 90s. But mm-hmm. she was abused. Mm-hmm. She had it, cut off his husband's dick, threw it out of a moving car. Mm-hmm. They later reattached the penis. This is too much information for you, Casey, but it's all over the 90s. And I'm just assuming that Aristotle knows all this. Like, if you were alive in the 90s, you know this, even if you were a kid.
I do remember it, but in this movie, I was like, is he specifically referencing that? Is there something else that I'm missing? Mm-hmm.
He later became a porn star, and I looked him up on Wikipedia, and Wikipedia says porn star. Professional porn star. By the way, professional porn star, I mean...
People want to see it. They want to know.
They saw it, and they knew. I tell you, Casey, the 90s were wild.
I'm just kind of back off, just like round 2.
I'm not, and then that's where my research stopped. I didn't look up his movies. I know.
Sure. You watched Frankenstein instead.
I'll tell you later. I mean, not wrong. Then we get the first fight. This is where Tyler tells the narrator, "You have to hit me," and they start fighting. And then later on, you see that it's just the narrator punching himself. That's it. And then Tyler's like, "Come on, ask me. You want to stay with me? Just stay with me. It's fine. Just ask me." So they start living together. Oh, right before this, the narrator breaks the fourth wall, talks directly to the camera, and tells a little bit about Tyler Durden's jobs. He's a projector.
He's a projectionist, but also a
projectionist. Yeah,
not quite a film editor then, but the projectionist and the splicing together thing, which
yeah, child abuse, by the way. Because
oh yeah,
because there's this whole thing about like it's all framed around sticking it to the man, and this is where I'm saying that if this was done now, this would be more specific against billionaires and CEOs and people like that. Because the way Tyler is being an anarchist and sticking it to the man is by attacking random people. He's not attacking the executives or the people in charge. He's just attacking people that are going to the movies and watching this kids movie, and he's splicing porn into the kids movie.
The children's movie.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Which is... I was going to say, not this part, not the splicing in, but that's what I struggled with this movie, was that he touches upon so many ideas I'm very on board with and takes them to extremes that I am not on.
Which I think is the point. Like it's the Killmonger from Black Panther.
Black Panther.
Killmonger had correct ideas. He just did it in the very wrong way.
Right. And I would even My favorite moment that I think is an example of this, of taken to an extreme end, but an idea that on paper I'm on board with, is when they rob the liquor store.
Mm-hmm.
And he like points the gun at this guy and he's like telling him, I'm going to kill you, and lets him go. And this is something I've said in my life in other instances, because I haven't done this, but I enjoy a cruel prank here and there, trying not to, but like essentially like, and now aren't you just so happy to be alive?
Mm-hmm.
Which is like something I like to live with, you know. Sometimes something bad happens, like, actually, I'm still so happy to just be alive. And but I wouldn't put a gun to someone's head to prove that point.
Yeah.
But that is an idea.
That's good to know.
Yeah. But it's something that I think more people need, right? Like, things are hard or something's happening, but like, you're still alive, and isn't that great?
Mm-hmm.
I have thoughts, and I'll get to those thoughts on this scene, but I have very specific I'm skeptical about that way of thinking, but I'll get to why. But right now we're learning about Taylor Durden. He also is a waiter, and this is a little bit sticking it to the rich and the wealthy. Like, he's peeing on the pea soup. Joke. So, and also like later in the movie, Helena Bonham Carter's character Marla asks for the clam chowder, and he's like, clean soup. Oh, don't order the clam chowder.
Yeah.
I stopped eating clam chowder for a while after this movie.
I also did wonder, though,
anyway.
Is he working all these jobs? Like, is that why he's losing so much sleep?
I think that's the idea. I kind of got the sense of he's not sleeping because all these jobs are at night. So I think he just is working. But at what point does he disassociate so much? He creates this persona and he's fully working a real job, had interviews, is dealing with his managers, is dealing with like the whole thing without him. I get this is the point, I guess, but it feels really far-fetched. Like, again, you start thinking too hard about this movie, it doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
So we go to Tyler Durden's shitty ass house. I had so many questions. This house is in the middle of nowhere. He says that there's half a mile of nothing around the house. How does the electricity work? How does it have gas? How does it have water, running water? Like, it's a fully functioning house. How is it fully functioning? Is it fully functioning? Is he imagining all this?
I wouldn't exactly say running water. Everything else, yes, but the running water, I was like, it didn't look like running water.
I mean, it was not great water, but it was like he turned it on and it was running.
I wanted to vomit. Oh my God, it was horrendous. Oh Lord. I will say, so like, this is house middle of nowhere. It's probably like on some like same sort of like grid system as like these nearby factories. I remember whenever we moved into this house, Samuel totally forgot to call the city and tell them like, hey, we purchased a house, turn on the water. And so, but like we didn't realize it for like when we were slowly moving in, because it was going through like it still had water in the water tank. I'm assuming at some point he would run out, but you know, I think sometimes the city will just like let things sort of like they're not.
I think that was the point. Also behind the scenes or Easter egg, I guess. The name of the street is called Paper Street.
Mm-hmm.
And Paper Street, it's when a developer draws a street or draws like a thing and to get permits or whatever, but he never actually builds the street. Mm. So it's a street only in paper. So the street doesn't exist in real life. It's just the idea of the street. So I think this is why I'm questioning if it was really, I mean, I guess it was because then the other people joined the real house, but like it's supposed to be in a street or in a neighborhood that doesn't really exist. It's off the grid, but also kind of is on the grid because it does have all the amenities and all that. But anyway, it's a shitty house. I've told Casey this. Whenever I dream about bathrooms, they're always disgusting and running water, and this is my dream of maybe this is the why
Source.
I dream about shitty bathrooms because of this movie. Then we get like a quick montage of what's it to live in Tyler's house, but also this is where Fight Club starts picking up. So again, this is the whole, we see Tyler and Tyler fighting each other, the narrator and Tyler, and then some people saw it and they're like, can we join in? So for some reason, start spreading it. We kind of slowly see more people and like joining into fights. It kind of starts in the streets. There's some interconnectedness between the narrator's boring job, and then he just says, I just couldn't wait to go back to fighting. There's also some philosophical monologues by Tyler, and I have a quote here. This is where the fanboys, like the toxic fanboys, come in and say this is about masculinity and loss of masculinity and all that. Because Tyler says, our generation is a generation raised by women. Which, Tyler is a bad guy. Tyler is the toxic masculinity side of the narrator. So he's going to say a toxic masculinity thing. But I think the fanboys hear this and like, yeah, it's kind of like How I Met Your Mother, which I don't know if this is on purpose or not, but Barney is Tyler. And when Barney says things in How I Met Your Mother, and people take it like, yeah, that's right. Like, no, Barney is always bad. He's antagonist of How I Met Your Mother. He's the toxic masculinity side of Ted. I have the theory that there's no Barney. It's also only Ted.
That's a good
And to
one.
support that theory, the narrator's boss is obsessed with cornflower blue, and specifically cornflower blue tie. And Barney got obsessed with a cornflower blue tie when he was getting married. Just pointing that out there. Barney is Tyler. We get this montage of Fight Club growing, Tyler and the narrator talking to each other. The narrator shows up to work all bloodied and scarred. There's a quote, and I kind of want to ask you guys to. Tyler asks, because they're talking stupid things, and Tyler asks, if you could fight a celebrity, what celebrity would you fight? Well, he says Hemingway. Fair. The other one was like what historical figure you would fight, and I think the narrator says Lincoln. Lincoln was a wrestler. He was a wrestler while he was a president. So I wouldn't fight Lincoln. He was like 6 foot something and a wrestler. No, I wouldn't fight him. But Casey, what celebrity would you fight? And also Aristotle, but Casey first.
Celebrity?
Yes. What celebrity you would fight, and you think they would beat you up? Like you don't think you could win, or maybe win, but like have a hard time winning. I have someone in mind.
I think that was my question is like, are we going for, this also comes up in physical Asia. Are you going for like, who can I beat, or who will be a fun challenge?
Who would be a fun challenge?
I want to beat her ass. I just want to fucking...
I don't think that would be a challenge. I think you would beat her up pretty quick.
Yeah, I really hate her. So I would just really want to throw some punches.
Same.
Yeah.
I would want to fight Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Okay.
Because I used to like him so much, and he has been such a disappointment lately of all the shit that he's said and done. And also, he has a lot of allegation and all that. But
yeah,
I just want to punch him. Also, challenge because he used to be a wrestler, so he has maybe like 10 years younger Neil deGrasse Tyson. Maybe not now.
My first thought was Tom Holland, just because it would be kind of fun, and I think it would be like a good sport kind of thing. Like we're not going to be mad at each other after. Like that was fun.
No, I think he's stronger than he looks. I think he would.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
He has all that ballet dancer muscle. No, you have to think of someone else, Casey. But I'll
No, okay. So that my next answer, like, also not fair. But like, I just have so much hatred in my heart that like the list keeps growing. You know, it's like my Death Note list. No. God, I would love to throw a couple of punches at him. You know.
Again, he's in a wheelchair.
I don't want it to be a fair fight.
So this is why we know Casey's gonna take over the world, because she's going after the people that she knows she's gonna beat. A scrawny little white girl and a guy in a wheelchair.
Okay, somebody who
those are the two opponents.
But also, I wouldn't necessarily say scrawny, even though the movie bombed. She did do the wrestling movie. She's got to have some amount of training.
Casey's rethinking it. See, Casey rethinking this fight.
No, No, I'm not. Like, she's still my number one. If I had to choose somebody that I truly believe I would lose to, but would still want to fight, I think would probably beat my ass somehow.
I know where he lives. I can set it up.
My God.
Anyway, so the Fight Club is growing, and then I think now we finally get a place that they are hosting the Fight Club. They're hosting it in the basement of this shitty bar. I think it's the original shitty bar with Tyler and the Ray started drinking. The bartender with the best sideburns ever lets them fight in there. And this is where we get the rules of the Fight Club. I don't remember all the rules. I remember 3 rules. I remember the first 2 rules, which is don't talk about Fight Club, don't talk about Fight Club. And then I remember the last one is if this is your first time at Fight Club, you have to fight.
Another one is no shirt, no shoes. And another one is you have to stop if somebody taps out, goes limp, or says stop.
Which I also noted, and I was actually really impressed by how much everyone followed these rules. Because I was expecting the opposite of like everyone's going to go in fighting dirty. But like, no, they were all like, I'm taking the rings off, taking the shoes off, like nothing, no unfair advantages.
I think this is one of the points of the movie that no one really talks about. The first review that I read, like the 5th time watching it, this is about what it is, or the 4th one. They're all supposed to be anarchists, and they're supposed to be like against the man, and we do what we want, but they're just following the rules. They're just following the rules from someone else. They're still doing the same shit. They're still in a different kind of cult. They're not in the corporate cult. Now they're in a Fight Club cult, but it's still a cult. So I think the point is that you never break out of being a follower if you're a follower. You're going to be a follower no matter what.
I took it more as the need for an emotional release, especially at the time when, for lack of a better word, men basically weren't allowed to. Like there wasn't, and I think that's where I identified so much with the like, shouldn't you be glad to be alive and like get out there and break out of this cycle of I buy the same things every day. And like, I say this because so much of it reminded me of my time in the mosh pits, that I'm like, that's basically what this was.
That's amazing.
Oh, that's like incredible. That's the same basic rules. Like we're fighting, but we're also like, this isn't a fight in the streets. This is what we're here to do.
Super safe also. Like, and for that reason, like someone falls down, you'll pick them up. That's the first rule.
Yes. But I'm also talking like the extremer ends of the pits, but still it's an emotional release that you can't really get anywhere else unless you want to join boxing. But even then, that's kind of, I don't know.
Boxing has so many rules. But yeah, no, I get it. And to that point, this is why I remember the 8th rule, because I think the point of the 8th rule is that you have to participate and you have to be an active member of this, because the narrator, when he used to go to the support groups, which this is another support group, it's very clear that he doesn't participate in the first few support groups. He's just passive. And then it's not out until he starts crying with Bob and like, I think this is where he gets the release. But I think he wants to not have passive tourists. Like he hates tourists. Like he hated Marla because she was a tourist. He wants to have passive, active members for what you said, like for the release, for like the catharsis.
Mm-hmm. And also to bring up the crying, because there's so few ways. Not that there are few ways, but there's so few ways available to men, especially at the time when you're not going to therapy or talking about it. Like every feeling I have that is outside of my regular day-to-day is getting pressed down, and we're going to turn it to anger. And there's only one way to let that out: in the Fight Club.
Especially if you're ex-Catholic, like I do. Like, Casey, would you join a Fight Club?
Would you get in a mosh pit?
No, absolutely not.
I would see Casey in a mosh pit. I would love to see that.
No, no.
In Finland, they had the most polite mosh pits. They were running mosh pits. So yeah. There were no punches. There were nobody pushed anyone. They just run in a circle. He was very cute.
You could just do a run club, but yeah, totally.
Yeah, honestly. That's why everyone's thin over there. So the Fight Club is growing, and they still have this conversation between the narrator and Tyler. The narrator not saying that he's now only thinking about Fight Club. He's looking at like the world in a different way, and Tyler and the narrator are in this bus or train, whatever, and they see a Gucci ad, and they start making fun of the abs of the Gucci guy, like the model. Ironically, but also on purpose, the next scene is Brad Pitt in full like Gucci model mode, like the lighting, everything. Like when you hear like I want to be like Brad Pitt, this is the scene that people are talking about. That's all I have to say about that. Is this when we get Jared Leto, or is this later? I think this is later.
I think it's later, because I think it's when he brings up like, I've noticed there's more members. That means you guys are talking about Fight Club.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. As the narrator is narrating, this is where he says that sometimes he would let Tyler talk for him. Tyler says something to the doctor. The narrator repeats it. So really, this is like a little clue that Tyler's not really there. This is when Marla calls Tyler's house. Again, how did she get the number? Was this always the narrator's house?
No, because he asked her, and she was like, "You set up a forwarding."
That's right.
Yes.
But who did, Tyler or the narrator?
Who knows?
Yeah, this scene is more messed up than I remember, because Marla took some pills, and she's trying to kill herself, or as she says, this is just a cry for help kind of thing. I feel like this is so late 90s. Gen X, I don't care about life, just apathy. Oh, what was that cartoon with the girl?
Daria.
Daria. This is very Daria. We could look it up, but we won't.
No, I have to know.
Aristotle has to know. But it is very like just apathy. And this is kind of what Marla represents a little bit this time. Speaking of apathy, the narrator doesn't care. He puts the phone very, very on top of his chest very carefully, so she doesn't notice that he doesn't hang out. Cut to, again, one of those weird CGI zooms, and it's like a sex montage. This is where we start the sex montage. Apparently, they use the same technology as the Matrix, the bullet time, for this.
That's really funny. That's hysterical.
So Marla is in Tyler's house now. The narrator in the morning was like, "What the fuck what are you doing here? Who invited you?" And she thinks he's being an asshole, and he's just confused why is she there. He's genuinely confused why is she there. So you had no clue, Casey, at this point. Like there was like zero.
This is what was going on in my head. I was this man is so in love with Tyler that like he fucking hates this woman.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
which is not wrong.
Yeah.
That's also true.
Mm-hmm. So I was just like, yeah, that is what it is, you know?
I mean, it's so true, but also, like, even knowing that plot twist was coming, I was like, damn, this is just a great movie. Fuck.
We got a little bit of how Tyler went to get Marla. He actually kind of rescued her, but also abused her a little bit. It's all fucked up. Again, we get a sex montage. Then here's around the time where Tyler starts talking about the same ingredients that you use to make homemade dynamite are in the soap. It's a big clue that he blew up his own apartment, or the narrator's apartment. But we start getting a little bit of. I think this is where we start getting Tyler bleeding into the narrator kind of thing. Like up until this point, they were very separate beings or entities. Now they're going to start to mesh together a little bit. I think one is because of Marla. Two is because the detective starts putting ideas that, oh, this wasn't an accident that the apartment blew up. So the narrator gets a call from the detective and like, yeah, this was a homemade dynamite. When the detective was talking to the narrator, Tyler was walking kind of far from the phone and answering what the detective was saying. Did you question why that was happening? Did you not? In hindsight, like I knew that the spoiler, but like yeah, how does Tyler know what the text is saying? Like, he's not listening to this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we get some scenes with Marla and the narrator. Again, the narrator very dismissive of Marla.
Is this when she has the dress?
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, it suits you. I was like, oh my God, that is such like a savage comment that could only come from a gay man. Like, that's crazy. But then, my heart breaks for her. Like, you have really great sex with this guy, and then he says that to you. Oh my God, give me the Xanax. Like,
but he doesn't know that. But yeah, this is around the time that Tyler says another great quote: "Sticking feathers up your butt doesn't make you a chicken."
Yeah.
Crazy.
Who has great quotes? Great quotes that a drug out junkie would write in a weird book somewhere that you threw it in a dumpster and you find it. Like, this is quotes that make no sense, but some are fun.
I think, is this also where we get the chemical burn scene? Is this?
No, it's a little bit later. This is where they go get the soap. So I
hated it so much.
Yeah, especially the sound design is great because you hear all the.
Yeah, but the barbed wire scene is just like, I can't believe you're.
Because they go to this liposuction clinic and steal fat from the rich people to make the soap. I get it. It's a metaphor. But is human fat really the best fat to make soap? I don't think it is.
Can't imagine, but I don't know.
I feel like cow fat is way easier and better to get to make soap. I'm guessing.
I mean, it's not free.
It's not free. But I feel like it's easier to steal from the butcher than steal from the clinic. But I get it. It's a metaphor. You're selling the fat back to the rich.
And the lady in the store does comment like, this is the best soap. So like,
yeah,
clearly it works.
Are you ready to move on, Casey?
Please.
Now we get the chemical burn. So Tyler is talking about like kind of the same themes that you're talking about. It's all about living, and really like taking life for what it is. And he explains about like this chemical thing. Tyler kisses the narrator on the hand, sprays the chemical. I forget what it is, but
lie.
Lie. It's a chemical reaction. Is that true? I don't know.
I believe so, because I think there is. I think lie and DEET are two things that are heavily regulated. Like, you're not allowed to put that much inside of soap or whatever. But
there are things that as an ex-security guard from Target, I know how to make meth, or at least I know what people steal from Target to make meth. Because those are things, we call them booster items, that you would look at, and some, like, it's soap, it's shampoo, it's lithium batteries, it's like, it's things in the grocery aisle, like there's things that you wouldn't think about. And like, you put them all together, you get meth.
In small doses, they're fine. In big doses together, not fine. But
the chemical burn thing, again, talking about men doing dumb men things. I think that's a very dumb men thing to do, scarring each other. So I have this scar. I don't know if you can see it, but I have this scar here.
Okay.
And it's from 9th grade or like 10th grade, where my best friend would do this, and you have to say names with all the letters of the alphabet from A to Z, and then how long will you last? So I lasted a while. I still have the scar.
That's crazy.
Okay, yeah, I know. I'm familiar because I think it's usually boys that play these kinds of games. But I have one that like it was a rubber band game where you'd go to your friend and like. It was really just more of like, can you handle it? And it was just like, pull the rubber band on your thigh, whoosh, let it go, just because.
It's also like the thing with the thing.
Oh yeah, that's a classic.
So this doesn't count because it's up, but it has to be below the hip. It has to be below the hip.
But man, this scene is where I was like,
rough.
fuck,
rough.
It's rough, but it was more just like, oh my God, am am I the dumb watcher that's like fully on board with this movie that the movie's making fun of? Or am I like, I see it. I see the depth of this film because I can't claim to know a lot about it. But I'm like, you're talking about what is a spiritual practice of being above the pain. But you're going way extreme with this.
We had the same scene in Dune. It's the Bene Gesserits, and
when he puts the hand
in the box of pain. It's kind of about being okay with pain because the narrator was trying to go into his safe space, the cave, the forest, whatever, and Tyler's like, no, stay here, stay that person. Which
be
is
here now.
A good lesson, but I think the lesson is correct. The teacher is incorrect. Like he's doing it for the wrong reasons, but the lesson is correct.
This is my favorite moment whenever they do like the clip show at the end of like replaying these moments without Tyler there.
Oh,
and you can see him. Like that cracked me up. I thought that was really funny. Thought that was good.
We want the edit. We want that edit of shots Edward Norton just by himself, beating himself up for 2 hours.
But I think that adds to the questioning of like, is he talking to himself on a plane or is he sitting there silently imagining this conversation? Because that's what that scene looks like. He's doing it and imagining this argument.
Which is, I think, very human. I hesitate because I don't know if she's being crazy, but I have those conversations with myself all the time. I have scenarios in my head happening. I have things that, I should have said that, should have done that. Or like, I could do this, I could do that. Like when Marla made fun of the narrator of like, you practiced this, didn't you? Like, that hit because I do practice telling off someone like that also. I've practiced this so many times with Casey. Never happened yet.
Hell yeah.
But it will
One
be.
day.
One day. So the narrator is right now telling off his boss. So before he kind of fantasized about telling him off, now he's actually telling him off. And in this scene, I was expecting him to kind of rewind and it was only his head, but no, he was actually telling him off. So I think the narrator is kind of unraveling.
Is this like whenever he finds the printed rules or okay?
Also, why is he printing the rules? Also, that's so 90s.
Yeah.
Right now, it would be like you send a text to the wrong Snapchat or group or something.
I mean
which just happened.
It just happened, or are you saying it has happened?
Sending the wrong text to like talking shit about someone and then sending that to that someone.
I was just watching a reel that I love so much. I'm glad there's people out there that do it, but I'll never, of like sending my Latino wife the wrong text of it being like, she's gone, come over. And just watching all the reactions I was like, this is why I'm here, to watch this happen.
I know exactly what my wife would do. She's first of all, she was like, this is a joke. No. It's like, I mean, no, I couldn't. Also, I can't lie to media. Like, it's just impossible for me. Can't. No, those jokes are mean. I feel like every time I see that kind of jokes like that, I'm like, also the ones where they talk back to their mom, especially if it's a Latin mom.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, no.
I like this one though because it is mean. But you, the text sender, are in more danger than whatever else is coming out of there. Because then how do you... No.
I was just going to say, so the more elaborate version of that where they put a mannequin on top of the guy and then like it's just too much.
It's, yeah.
Cool effects.
Yeah.
It's commitment.
But
printing.
Well, the next scene is Marla saying that her tits is rotting. So she calls the narrator. I like that. Well, I like, but it's also kind of sad, but it makes sense that she is as lonely and sad as the narrator. She just doesn't have a split personality. Or maybe she does, but that's another movie. But like the narrator is the only person that she called to check that she had like a lump or something, which she doesn't, but still. I
think my favorite part about the scene is whenever he is like, I'm like, the safe person because I'm not Tyler. And in this moment, right, because I didn't know what was going to happen, I was like, oh my God, it's going to be like gay best friend energy. Like, yay, I'm so excited. Nope. Devastating.
You didn't think it was going to be like Tyler against the narrator. So you didn't notice that he didn't have a name at all?
No, I did not care.
To be fair, I knew the twist was coming, and I also did not realize that, because at a certain point I was like, wait, what have they been calling it? And they don't. They just
the
don't.
first time Marlon and him meet, she's like, what's your name? What do I call you? Like, they made it a point that it was a big deal, and then the scene just cuts off and then move on. But so we never really hear him. But so after the narrator checks Marla, Marla kisses him. He's kind of weirded out. She's kind of like, this is normal. And then things get awkward because to him, first time they kiss, to her, they're in a relationship. It is a relationship to her, right? A little weird and fucked up relationship, but it is a relationship.
Especially for the time when I can't imagine people are discussing their situationships kind of thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that word didn't even exist back then. We just said it's complicated. Facebook. Well, actually, Facebook a few years after this. The narrator runs into Bob, and poor, sweet, innocent Bob. I did watch Rocky Horror Picture Show after this, and it's weird to just see Meatloaf in his prime and Meatloaf here. But he's great. That's Bob. Bob's like, oh, you haven't been to the support groups, and yeah, I have a new one. And Bob's like, yeah, but I'm not supposed to talk about it. Second rule, I'm not supposed to talk about it. So innocent. He's like, yeah, I'm in that group too. Bob's like, the guy who the founder, the guy who started this, he's a legend. He Braveheart, William Wallace. He's gonna become a myth. The narrator's a little bit jealous. Ironically, he's jealous of himself.
I was confused by that.
I like that he's jealous of his better self, because it is his better self. You were confused by that?
Because if he's been to the group, how have they not seen each other at the group? Especially if it's still relatively small.
Yeah. But, I mean, it is a movie that if you think about it too much, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Because he does give the excuse that, I go on the weekends and Bob goes.
Yeah,
but the moment that Bob goes at the same time that the narrator, he's going to know that he's Tyler Durden. But that's never addressed. So it is a little, don't think about it too much. Or maybe that scene, we didn't see that scene, that interaction of like, oh, you're the founder. Then we get a scene of Tyler addressing a bigger group. And he's like, oh, there's a lot more members. So you've ignored the first two rules. At this point is when it starts ramping up. It becomes a cult. Why was 1999, first of all, very horny year. Also, very culty year. I feel like we've talked about cults a lot.
Do you think it was because of like Y2K? Because I feel like Y2K gave way to like some cults, or some cultish behavior.
Yeah.
For sure. And I think they also are constantly being reinvented, right? Like we have our modern day cults that like don't really look like cults, but they kind of operate the exact same way. Like, how did you fall for this?
Yeah.
Oh man, this is a tangent city, this episode. But do you know about Nexium and Alison Mack? I feel like she was a crush of a lot of us millennials from the Superman Smallville show. And Alison Mack, she was an actress, and she was part of this cult. Very messed up cult, ended up branding people, women. And the main guy, the cult, he's in jail for sex trafficking and all that. Yeah, she has a podcast now. I just listened to it about her, like how she got into the cult, and it was like, yeah, very much. You start very innocent and all about getting better, all about being your best self, and then suddenly you are doing terrorist acts and branding people like on Fight Club.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm also just realizing the irony of us discussing cults with this film with Jared Leto, who it continues on.
Yeah.
So right around this time when Tyler's addressing the group, the owner of the bar that they've been fighting in comes in. This old school mafia dude with his bodyguard. Tyler gets beat up and convinces the mafia dude. The laugh, I don't know where Brad Pitt conjured that psychotic laugh, but that made it like super scary. That was more than the blood, more than the getting beaten up. It was the weird laugh to me.
It was I think it was both for me, because again, a lot of things that I'm like, I agree and I like this too, but this is an extreme end. I appreciate that he was true blue for the cause, like beat the shit out of me. I'm like, keep going, keep fucking going. And I was like, that is like an ideal attitude in the worst possible way, I think. But
and that kind of gave way to the homework, which is get beat up, start a fight, and lose it. Oh, by the way, when he's making the speech right before this, he mentions that like we have no Great War, we have no Great Depression, and then I'm thinking, yeah, that's that generation. Our generation is fucked. So many wars, so many scandals, a pandemic also. Jesus. This is why I say, like, 1999 is a time where people were bored and the whole Rage Against the Machine was against the man. If you're a middle-class white man of certain economic level. Because there was always, obviously, injustice against minorities and all that, but that wasn't in the media at all or in the zeitgeist at all. But, yeah, they're just bored, but they're living comfortable. He's saying we're living comfortable lives and they still want to destroy everything. That's stupid. But we do get a really fun montage of the members starting fights and then losing them. My favorite one is the one with the priest, which we do see the priest later on. Did you notice that that's the same guy, or did you look that up, Casey?
I immediately knew because he's like a pretty popular character actor now. Like you
Really?
see him like another shit all the time. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't recognize him.
I actually don't remember seeing the priest again, or I guess what he looked like. I maybe didn't recognize who he was on the street and recognized him later, but I didn't realize they were the same guy.
That's fair. Yeah.
So it wasn't your head. That's why you compared me to that guy.
But I also love the priest fight because it's so fun. Just like spraying him.
Yeah.
I was almost a priest. I was almost a. Casey knows this, but before I met my wife, she was going to be a nun, and I was going to be a Buddhist monk. And then we ruined each other for God and spirituality. Me and my friend, we had everything set up to go to the Tibet and try to be monks.
I mean, you must have heard this a bunch of times. Like that sounds like the setup to a joke. A nun and a Buddhist monk meet.
Catholic monk and a Buddhist monk meet at a bar, which we did.
That's crazy.
The narrator's fight that he lost is with his boss. And I feel like this is the ultimate quit fantasy. Like, I don't know if there's stories about people quitting or rage quitting, but this is like the ultimate rage quitting, which I think was more popular. I feel like now the popular thing is quiet quitting, and I still don't get. This is a Generation Z bullshit of like, it's just called being lazy. It's not quiet quitting. It's just called don't giving a fuck. It's not new. Stop giving names to all things. Anyway, that was my old man run.
I mean, I hear you. I agree in that it's kind of like, for lack of a better word, but it feels like it fits Fight Club, cowardly way to back out of something opposed to just being direct. Like, I don't want to do this anymore, or trying to fix it. But I also think in this economy, quitting not really a good idea.
Yeah, idiots to do that, right? Yeah, I quit my job.
Congrats, but also how?
I have an engineer wife who's very generous.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any debts, which also helps a lot.
Non-engineer.
Some freelance jobs here and there. It's not enough, but it's a little bit. But we have like enough said. I am very, very lucky. I understand it.
The lucky
Especially
and
the-
well-planned savings, and also again, non-engineer is fun. Okay?
Yeah. So they're doing their homework. The narrator quits, and then we get an anarchy.
Wait, really quick. I want to go back to you referring to this as like a fantasy. Like this is a fantasy situation. This is an absolute fucking nightmare situation.
Well, it's a fantasy how well it turned out, because there were a lot of coincidences of like he at the right time where security got in, he was in the right position of being right next to the boss. Like there was a lot of like the plot needed this to happen.
I think it's a good moment where we see him, like we see him like kind of conscious of this like Tyler persona that like he isn't realizing is fully him, because it's planned so perfectly and it's planned in a way that Tyler would plan something. Because like I hesitate to say that like he was just really lucky. Like he was just perfect in how he executed everything, because he knew the guy was going to call. He like knew to shock him so that he dropped the phone. He knew to do X, Y, and Z. Like it was so thorough, and he was
It's
an
almost
absolute
like it was
maniac.
part of a script. Like that's what I'm saying. It's too convenient for the plot.
Wait,
in reality, that doesn't happen. That's why I say it's a fantasy.
just to make sure, we're talking about the scene where he beats the shit out of himself, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I also, just to add on to the layer of it being a fantasy and part of the movie, right, is that he hates his boss. We have witnessed his boss be an asshole, and the company is evil. So like he's stealing money from an evil company, and doing something that he's good at, and I guess likes, beating the shit out of himself. That's like this is like ideal.
Yeah.
When I say fantasy, just to be clear, Casey, I don't mean beating myself up. I want to do that. I don't think I could do that. But it is the rage quitting. Is it telling off your boss part? Like you hate your job, you hate the company you work for. You're gonna quit, and also you're gonna. Oh, he actually didn't quit. He's still working there, but he kind of quit.
He got a remote situation.
Yeah, he got a remote situation.
Wait, was it remote or wasn't it? Oh my god! Oh, I don't remember the details. I just remember him getting a shit ton of money.
He kind of gets paid still, and like Casey said, remote situation, blackmailing the whole company that he knows all this shit, which also in reality that would never happen. Like they made you sign so many things that if you try to sue them for things that you know, they're gonna get sued back. Like I'm sure Casey and I know things about our company that we're not. But right after this quit not quitting thing, we got like an anarchy montage of Tyler Durden giving homework, escalating the whole thing. And I think is this now where it is Project Mayhem, or is it a little bit later? I think it's around this time, right?
It starts whenever there are people on the front porch.
Oh yeah.
So this is right before Project Mayhem. Yeah, it's still like Fight Club homework, which it's all very dumb things. They give laxatives to birds or seagulls or whatever. They poop all over the fancy cars. He just hits. They hit like cars with a bat, and they do explode a building. So that is kind of like bad, but they don't do things that are too bad other than exploding a building.
They're theoretically not hurting anyone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, theoretically not hurting. My favorite one was they changed the airplane thing up of like an emergency pamphlet thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So good. I forgot to look that up. I want one of those, like for real.
I know they have to exist somewhere out there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of fucked up because even to this day, if I fly, I am gonna look at the thing. I am gonna still look at it. It's always like a routine. I mean, I'm not a superstitious person, but I'm a little stitious. It's my favorite. I always touch the airplane when I go into. I always pat it. I have to. I always wear a Star Wars T-shirt. And
why the Star Wars T-shirt?
I don't know, because I think it makes me feel nice. Like if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die in a Star Wars T-shirt.
That is why I prefer to watch an action movie, if at all, on a plane, just so that I can like pretend it's a immersive experience.
Yes. Same. Yeah, my favorite lately have been, because I've been doing a couple of international flights lately, and my favorite is to watch the whole John Wick. Now, because now they have all four of them in flights, so now you can like it's pretty convenient. And yeah, like if it's turbulence, it's just a movie. It's a 4D experience. Then this scene happens, which I wanted to talk about. This is the convenience store. Tyler Durden kidnaps this random clerk guy, threatens him, puts a gun against his head, and then tells him, I know where you live." Because they ask him, "What do you wanted to do?" He's like, "I just went to med school, veterinarian or something. I dropped out." Tyler's like, "You're gonna go there, and you're going to finish school. I know where you live. I'm gonna kill you if you don't do better." And then the narrator's like, "You're fucked up." Keep in mind that this poor dude is hearing this one dude threatening him with a gun and also talking to himself.
Mhm.
He then Tyler says, "Well, now that he's really going to live after this, he's going to go and everything's going to taste better. He's going to sleep the best the night of his life, whatever." I'm calling so much bullshit on this. This is white man fantasy. I've had a gun to my head. I've had this experience, and I didn't feel better after this. I feel very shitty. I spent the whole day in the police station, and it was horrible. No.
This guy's like just going to end up traumatized. He's never going to leave his house again.
Yeah, it's a traumatic experience. And then what did I do the next day? I had to go to school because I was on my way to school. I had to go the same route. Nothing changed. I just lost a jacket and a phone. That's all. That's everything I lost.
Sorry that happened to you, but that's also like such a different circumstance, because that's a scene that, again, an extreme I would never want to take it to, but I like the sentiment behind it. Mm-hmm. That like, yeah, you hate this job, do something about it. Again, if you had been held at the gunpoint and be like, quit school because you hate it, and maybe you quit school and then do something else, who knows? But it's such like he tells him to do what is probably a good thing, hopefully. But again,
I get the idea. It's a kick in the balls. It's I mean, and those things happen. Something happened to me this year that made me do this like big thing of trying to find a job in Finland and going to like things happen that make you do things. Or things don't happen that make you do things. To me, it was like I was just in this job that wasn't going nowhere, and I'm getting to that age of like I'm getting too old to restart my life, but I'm right there where I could still do that, and that's what I'm doing. I feel like this is my last chance of doing that. I'm also sure that in 10 years, I might feel the same way. Like my dad still talks about starting new things, and he's 65 or 64. So like I'm sure there's always something that sparks that, but it has to come from within, not from this random white dude with a gun. Like I get the idea. It's just the fantasy of like, yeah, he dropped out of school, but he still needs to have a job. One of the most violent and robbed places is 7-Elevens and clerks like this. They get robbed all the time. This is not the first or last time that he's going to get a gun pull on him. Like that's probably happens almost every night. Maybe not to this extreme, but they get robbed a lot. Like it's one of the most dangerous jobs in the United States. Like just being a clerk, like this. So I don't think much changed in that dude's life other than being traumatized by Brad Pitt or Edward Norton too.
Are you saying, is there a trade-off? But
nothing happened. I don't think anything happened to this guy. I think the next day he went back to work. Right. I don't think he finished his school. I think he changed the lock of his apartment.
I also don't remember. Did they actually even take anything? Like, doesn't he just like take gum or something?
Maybe. Yeah, I think he has like a bag or something.
I think he just grabbed his wallet, and I don't think he necessarily returned the wallet, but I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't like take the wallet either, and he just like left it there. Maybe the guy found it the next day.
But yeah, this is just no. I don't think anything happened out of this. I do get it, but whatever.
I think it would have been really funny to see the guy in Fight Club. Like just in the background. He was like towing it.
That would have been cool, except I think I saw 2 black dudes and everyone else was white in Fight Club.
But this guy wasn't, he was Asian.
Well, that's not what I'm saying. Like, I don't think I saw that much.
Oh, okay. Like, okay. I was like, he wasn't black, huh? Now I understand.
I don't see colors that way. Just
Yeah, of course. It's very millennial. No, I'm just kidding.
Shut up. Then one of the, I think the coolest little scene, this is really stupid, but I don't know why I always like it. Well, first of all, after this, the end of the montage is that the Apple store explodes. Very 90s Apple store. I love the logo. I think we should go back to the rainbow logo. And then Tyler Durden breaks the fourth wall, talks to the camera, and it literally breaks the fourth wall because the whole film starts shaking. Very Gremlins 2.
That was another scene that like made me think this movie is so incredibly made. Like, yes. And also like unexpected. I didn't expect that to be happening. Like that felt so out of place, but also so perfectly fit this movie. I don't know. It was just a nice thing that happened.
It's unexpected. It's well done also. Like the whole shaking thing, it's a little cheesy, but it doesn't take me out of the movie. It fits really well with the whole point of the movie.
I think it's just like one of those things where it's cheesy because like it's been done not well since then, but like going back to the source material, you're like 10 out of 10.
It's one of those things that we have been before, especially with 1994 movies, post 1999, that they feel cheesy because we've seen it a million times, but that was one of the first times that it happened. I mean, it also happened with Gremlins. Gremlins is 84, which I think we're going to do 84, and I'm going to want to watch Gremlins for our Christmas special. Have you seen Gremlins?
Good.
Me or Kate? Wait, Gremlins? Gremlins, yes. Gremlins 2, not as much, but I'm aware of a Leonard Maltin cameo and the story behind it.
I didn't know about the...
Leonard Maltin and Joe Dante are friends. They're good friends. However, Leonard Maltin wrote a less than shining review for Gremlins 1, so he was like, all right, I'm going to put you in Gremlins 2. And we'll see what happens there.
It's the most meta movie ever. Like it haven't gone to that level of meta even like 30 years later. However long that movie. Oh God, I'm so old.
You're telling me.
Gremlins 1 is still pretty good. Gremlins 1 is like horror-ish adjacent movie.
You can show it to kids. It'll be fun.
You can show it to kids.
Man.
It is traumatizing to kids, to certain kids, maybe. There's a lot of deaths. I don't know if you remember, but there's a lot of deaths, and there's a guy going into the wood chipper. So
we also have Sexy Gremlin, which
that's 2.
That's a little. Wait, really? I could swear.
Yeah.
Well, but doesn't the sexy coat one is in 1? I'm pretty sure. And then I think, 2. But still, I know what you mean. But that's a question for when they're older.
We'll find out in the future when we watch Gremlin. After the whole fourth wall breaky scene, we get another scene with Marla and the narrator. Again, in Marla's head, they're in a relationship. The narrator, she's just this chick that occasionally finds. He kind of likes. He has feelings for her, and as a narrator and as Tyler, obviously, but he does have feeling for her. But in his head, he is in the friend zone, even though he's not. In this scene, and this is kind of my question, because the narrator is hearing Tyler doing a lot of construction noises downstairs because he's doing all the bunkers and all that. And even that Tyler is talking to the narrator as the narrator is talking to Marla, but Marla obviously is not hearing Tyler. Is she hearing the construction noises? Is that other people doing construction noises, or is that in his head?
No, because I think he specifically asked, like, do you hear that? And she says, here's what. I'm pretty like it happened so quickly right before they get to the door, and he's whispering to the narrator through the door. But that same kind of she doesn't hear it, But why is he hearing it? And same to the later part where he gets dragged. I'm like, are there ghost hammers or something? Like what? Like why are they happening at the same time?
Also, something cool that happens that it's a clue of that it's in his head. I mean, this is a big clue, but also the narrator, like you said, he's whispering to Tyler, "This conversation is over." At the same time as the narrator saying the same thing, even though in reality he couldn't possibly hear that. Casey, did you had any inkling at this point?
The way my brain made it work was just that they were so in sync with each other that like it wasn't anything that actually was being said out loud. It was just like there was an understanding. Because I thought about that during the hospital scene where he was like, Tyler started talking for me, which is really funny. About like, oh, I fell down the stairs. And I was like, okay, clearly he didn't just say that out loud in front of the nurse. But like, I think they just like, no, they're in sync.
They're so much in love.
Which is why I never ever read any sort of romantic feelings from the narrator to Marla. Like not a single ounce. Like it felt like he really just hated her because he was jealous and he wanted to be with Tyler. Like that was the only way it made sense to me.
I feel like it's again a thing of the time, 90s style crush. Where like, I'm jealous of you caring about this because I want you to care about me.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be mean to you and tug at your ponytails. Like then Project Mayhem happens. So this is where we get our first recruit, which is not Jared Leto. Do we see this dude again? The first recruit?
He's so generic looking.
He's very generic.
He's just and they shave his head and so like he's even more generic. I'm more confused. Like, how did that start? Because he just shows up.
Because the narrator didn't know. Only Tyler did. So we have to assume that he posted a secret pamphlet somewhere. I don't know. Maybe he's like just started doing. Could it be one of those things of Tyler and one just randomly says, "Do not show up in my doorstep," and then people are like, "Oh, we should show up in his doorstep." But then he had very specific things. Like he had the clothes changes, the $300 for burial money, which is very cheap. I don't know where you're gonna bury yourself for. What was it, like $300 or something? $600? But yeah, it's very specific. We get Project Mayhem recruits. They get through this very cultish test of like if they're too young, if they're young, they're too young. They're fat, they're too fat. Tyler yells at Bob. Bob's like, he just leaves. Bob is dead because of the narrator. He should have just let him go. Also, how confusing was that Tyler yells at you and then immediately, no way, don't listen to Tyler. Like, but you're Tyler. Okay.
I think they all knew at this point that this man he had two different things going on. You know, he was a little distracted.
But they were following him.
And I feel like you can see that on their faces when they're deeper in the cult. But in that moment, it's a little too like, why are you switching between I and the third person? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if someone starts doing that, it's just like, no, I need to stop talking to you now. So, this is where we get Jared Leto. At first, I don't think we saw him before this.
He is in the scene where the owner is beating up Brad Pitt, but he's just like background. He's just there. He
has very blonde wig, or dyed his hair. I think it's a wig, but also very blonde eyebrows, very blonde everything. He doesn't shave his head because he's Tyler's favorite. Also, Bob doesn't shave his head because he is the narrator's favorite too.
But some people are allowed to have mohawks.
Yeah, the last guy.
Did you say some people? I only saw one person, so I think that was the third favorite.
Yeah. He was like a mutual favorite.
There's three people that the lieutenants, whatever. But ironically, the first recruit shaves his head, so he's not.
We got to establish the tone of this cult right away.
Exactly. Yeah.
True.
You allow for flexibility down the road, you know.
Do something scare me, Casey. Casey's gonna start a cult.
I mean, despite the obvious negatives of being a cult, that house is really well run. Once it's going. And you're like, wow,
except nobody repaired the outside. I was like, really? None of y'all can paint the house?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just was to not like
to fly under the radar.
Get too much attention, or yeah. But they had like the little patch, like the little like
garden,
garden thing, and yeah, they were repairing things. I feel like they repaired the electricity too, because they were watching TV. They were doing like, I feel like things got slightly better in that house, but it was still like the spooky house. Then we get a breaking news. After there's a few recruits, we get breaking news. They bombed a. Do we know which building? I think they mentioned it, but they bomb a smiley face and like the facade of a building.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's celebrating, and we're like, "Yeah, we did that!" Woo! And Tyler's like, or the narrator actually, he's like, "No, why are you celebrating?" The narrator is genuinely confused and scared of why people are celebrating that, but to them, it's like this guru deep thing.
This is a test.
Oh, speaking of Edward Norton, he also plays this character, the Elon Musk version of this. We think he's smart in a group, but he's really just stupid and a little crazy. In Knives Out, the second movie, Glass Onion or something.
Glass Onion, yes.
Yeah, where Edward Norton is this Elon Musk type of. He says dumb things, and they're like, "It's so deep, it's almost stupid." It is stupid.
I forgot about it. I saw it once, and I liked it, but I forgot. And now we've got the third one,
which I'm excited about. I've seen those movies a bunch. I like those movies. Yeah, what's the name of the director?
Rian Johnson.
Johnson, yeah. Directed
Gave us
a Star Wars movie.
Thank you. I was just going to say it.
He directed episode 8.
Yeah, I know. I was shocked that you didn't remember his name.
I'm like always like 83% there. I'm always going to forget about
Yeah.
I just know that someone else going to remember for me. Like, I feel like I don't need to remember anything because there's always someone else going to just end the sentence or... Yeah.
It's also such a simple name. It's easy to forget, but I can see it written out in my mind's eye.
I never remember names of the movies that we're talking about. It's so hard for me to just keep all the characters straight. After the news report, we know that the commissioner or police chief, whatever, they're looking for the group. They kind of have leads. Because I don't think they're too careful about what they're doing. I think they're sloppy. And in real life scenario, I don't think they will get that far. I don't think they're that smart. The fact that they recruit a lot of... I mean, that's the idea that they recruit a lot of like blue collar and they're everywhere at the end. But yeah, that's a fantasy part of this. So speaking of fantasy, at a gala where the commissioner and mayor or whatever... all of the waiters are in this group. Nobody recognizes them. Nobody knows. Did they all get jobs as waiters and then waited for the gala to happen? Did the owner of the waiter company or whatever is part of Fight Club or Project Mayhem? Like, how did they all got the waiter jobs in this gala?
Well, that's what early on in the movie, he talks about how Brad Pitt was also sometimes a waiter. And that's where I remember we talked about, like, is that why he's not sleeping? Because he's got all these jobs. But it's not, it's at that extent. Is it possible he just is the waiting company, Yeah,
I mean, he's an entrepreneur. Like there's a mention of he's in a lawsuit also. So like weird mention here there that he does have businesses. So maybe it is Brett or the narrators or Tyler Durden, whoever, waiting company, and somehow they got this gig.
Because as it happens later, the extent of his business and what he gets done is far more extreme than I anticipated for this movie.
Yeah.
They wait for I'm going to call him the commissioner. I think it sounds like a commissioner, police chief, whatever. They wait for him to go to the bathroom. They ambush him, tied up his very cold balls, and threaten to cut them off. There's a lot of obsession around balls, and especially the last third of this movie.
I think it works as a comedic thing, but also after the whole speech about like we're men and we don't have a war, so like if you don't, the world is cutting off our balls, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the fanboys' misinterpretation of this whole movie. Like we're generation raised by women. The narrator is pissed a lot. He sees all of this. He's pissed.
He's jealous.
He's
He doesn't know
jealous.
about Project Mayhem.
He looks at Jared Leto with jealousy and rage. And then after this whole thing, the threatening and all that, there's a fight club. They're the same. I think it's the same basement. Oh yeah, because we see the bartender there. Sideburns, great sideburns. And then this is where the nerd beats the fuck out of Jared Leto because he wanted to destroy something beautiful. He was very pretty in this movie back then.
Absolutely. Fully agree. 10 out of 10.
He wasn't good looking. He was pretty.
He looked like an angel, like a perfect little angel. I was like, wow, that's crazy. You become a psychopath later.
Aristotle disagrees.
I could not disagree more. Maybe it's everything I know about him now, but I'm like, no, everything about him is
physical, purely like back
sure.
then. I can Jared Leto.
I can acknowledge very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
With that specific wording, I wouldn't say beautiful, but I get it.
Understood.
I get it. Then we get the driving scene. And again, this is another scene where there's hints. There's a lot of hints of Tyler and the narrator being the same person. The narrator is asking Tyler, why are you doing this? This is getting out of hand, blah, blah, blah. There's 2 minions on the back. They keep responding about Project Mayhem. We did not discuss Project Mayhem. Very cultish behavior. They just see Tyler talking to himself. That's all they see. There's also like a scene that I forget how it is, but like the narrator doesn't actually go into the car on the passenger side. He goes into the car in the driver's side and then scooches over, something like that.
I was just gonna ask, like, wait, why did the 2 guys go in the backseat? But if yeah, but I also didn't realize the like scooting in part of it and how that might look without Brad Pitt actually being there.
There's a lot of at the end trying to explain the whole thing. I mean, for the most part, it makes sense, but there's a lot of like, I don't think about it too much. It's fine.
The scene is the hardest for me to like sort of wrap my head around of like what is actually like happening.
Like at this point they've done all these things. They're following this dude. He's talking to himself so much so that he's gonna let go. Maybe he thinks he's talking to them, but he's talking about letting go, and then he literally lets go of the wheel and then just gets to this gnarly accident. Nothing happens to them, I don't think. But it's another I'm gonna live my better life because I survived this kind of thing. But what was the point of this scene? I don't think anything happens to the narrator after this that comes out of this scene, really.
But I thought he's like in bed for a couple days after this.
Yes,
maybe.
Yeah, I think this is when like Tyler leaves him.
Yeah, but right after that scene is when Tyler leaves him. I guess. Yeah. Okay. I guess this was to really justify the like why he stayed in bed and then why Tyler left. And
well, I imagine like he probably had a minor concussion or some sort of brain injury that like kind of fucked some things up a bit.
Or fixed some things up and he didn't see Tyler.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another great way to put it.
Right, Casey?
Yeah.
Or even the sleep that came from that, right? Because we haven't even seen him sleep this whole time.
You shouldn't sleep if you have a concussion. But,
right.
Yeah.
But he did. And
I had 2 concussions in my life, yeah.
I also think, or I mean, I guess I'd have to rewatch it again, but the car scene feels like him being like, hey, just trust me, let go, literally and metaphoric, like just trust Project Mayhem is going to be a thing. Like
that's right, because right after this, Tyler leaves and Project Mayhem is pretty much running itself. And I think Tyler himself, he said, don't listen to me anymore, I guess, told everyone. because they're doing shit, and Angel Face, his character name, Jared Leto, even says like it's handled, sir. Like don't worry about it, which is weird. That's not how culture work, but whatever.
That's how this one works. But I also thought it's funny. He says it more of a like he says it through like a swollen face.
Yeah. Really bad prosthetics. Marla visits, and she's like, "What's going on? What's happening? You haven't called. You haven't. Where are you?" And the narrator says, "Tyler is gone," which that's a dick thing to say, knowing that he's Tyler. Like, it's like I'm not here for you. Like, but to him, again, he's being sincere.
I think it also works with him because he's drinking and he has the vodka bottle, and so like it could be a drunk like Tyler's gone. You know what I mean?
Project Mayhem starts escalating, and then Bob dies.
Pain.
I feel so bad for Bob. I knew he was gonna die. I feel like he was too precious for this world.
He was too precious for the Fight Club. Why was he there?
His name is Robert Paulson.
Crazy.
There's this whole thing about Bob dies. They bring him to the house. They're like, we have to dispose of this body, blah, blah, blah. And the narrator, aka Tyler, is like, this is a person. This is Robert Paulson. This is not like, they're like, we don't have names in Project Mayhem. And then one of the minion dudes, I think it was the dude with the mohawk, he's like, that's right. In death, you get your name. His name is Robert Paulson. I feel like this went from 0 to 100 real quick. Like,
oh yeah.
Like this is, if you don't think it was you're in a cult before this, you're in a cult now. Man.
I mean, that's such a crazy scene, but I think it does such a good job of establishing that like he did a number on these guys, that it's like running itself to a degree that I'm telling you, we're going to bury him. And he's like, you're right. We're going to bury, because now it's like, oh my God, this is out of control.
There's a documentary that I really like. I think it's Kohuma, or there's a weird name like that. I'll figure it out. I'll look it up later. Is this guy who's from Indian descent, but he was raised and born in California, I think. So he has normal American, like Midwest accent, and but he does this experiment where he starts acting like a Indian guru, and he starts imitating his grandma. So he talks a little bit with that stereotypical Indian accent. He grows his hair, he grows his beard, he's very thin. And then all of these white people start following him as a cult, and he establishes a cult, but he never accepts money. He never does like the weird sex things, obviously, because that's illegal. He's documenting all of this, but it is all about how easy it is for people just to start following his teaching, his cult, and he just regurgitates Star Trek sayings and like weird things like that, and these waspy women started like saying Star Trek things.
To be fair, Star Trek, great, pulling from great source material already. So
great. I think a lot of the poses are also Star Trek poses, the yogi poses and all that. So he comes like it's very silly, but then he starts feeling for the people following him, and he at the end tells them this was all a lie. Basically, I'm a fraud. Because he when he realized he had this much power, he started saying, "Don't follow me, follow yourself." So very Tyler Durden, but people kept following him. And even after he told them this is all bullshit, there's like a little card at the end of what people are doing after this documentary. A couple of his first students are teaching his teachings, and they are charging for that. Like, yeah, saying that comes from a guru, whatever.
So it's how do I say it? I'm gonna say Indian Scientology, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Scientology a lot of those ideas come from like the 70s. Like that was super popular.
Also, just another recommendation, and I forgot what it's on, but have you watched Breath of Fire? It's a documentary about Kundalini yoga, which was a similar thing. A guy is like not making it in India, comes to America, starts acting like a guru, doesn't actually know anything, and then into like a thing that is still happening today.
I mean, that's Scientology.
Yeah.
Kumare, that's the name of the documentary. Kumare. Gibberish word. It doesn't mean anything, but it sounds like it means something. I love documentaries about cults. That's my favorite thing.
I guess at what point does a group of people become a cult? Because I feel like it's usually when it starts like we have to have sex. That's a cult.
Either that or you work for free.
Or work for free. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or like work and then you give all the money to the person you're working for.
Yeah.
Or both. As Creed says from The Office, I've been a part of a couple of cults. It's more fun as a follower, but you make more money as a leader. So right after Robert, his name is Robert Paulson, chant. The narrator's like freaking out. And I think this is where he decides to look for Tyler. And he's like, I don't know how I knew where he went, but I knew like I need to follow his route around the nation. So he finds that there's a lot of people having Fight Club meetings or like Fight Club. There's a lot of things happening in different parts of the country. And this is justified with the beginning of the movie that he's kind of a traveling salesman. I mean, not salesman, like insurance adjuster, whatever. But he does travel a lot for work. So that makes sense. He said that every city he went to, there was people with faces fucked up. And like, yeah, Tyler has been here. They're all like, we're not supposed to say anything. They all know that he is the leader, even though Bob didn't know who the leader was, but the rest of them know that he was the leader, which doesn't add up, but whatever.
Tyler has positioned it as like, hey, I'm going to test y'all. Like he's prepared them for this moment of like, I'm going to come in one day and I'm like not going to know anything.
After 3 days, I'm going to come back.
No, straight up. Absolutely. Yeah.
He's done such a good, thorough job though. Pre-internet, right? It's like
internet.
I think that's what I was impressed. I was like, you know what? Maybe he deserves this cult.
Yeah. He's worked hard for it.
Is this pre-MySpace? Was MySpace around 1999? No, this
can't
was
even imagine.
High Five era. Or
AIM if you're lucky, right?
AIM. Yeah. I had High Five. Don't worry about it, Casey. He goes to a bar in this random city. New York, I think. Where is he from originally?
I think this takes place in New York.
This takes place in New York?
Or a lot of the shots are in LA. I was like, oh my God. But also not even like big LA shots. Just like I know that street. Like that's not even a
I think I don't know. I honestly don't remember if they say what city they are, like where it starts. But I feel like it's meant to feel like any city.
That's fair.
Yeah. So he's in this random bar and he hears the staff chanting. His name was Robert Paulson.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It makes sense for what it needed to happen, but I feel like they would have some other chant or like they would start saying, we don't talk about Project Mayhem or something. I don't know.
Well, I think we don't talk about Project Mayhem was like last week. This is this week's chant. Like I feel like it's regularly rotating.
Yeah. It just got here.
Mm-hmm. But this is the bartender that I said was Aristotle. So
the cage.
Yeah.
With the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I knew a kid that had the thing. I forget why he had the thing, like the cage thing, but I knew a kid in elementary school.
Usually you have to have a pretty bad injury for that.
Probably. Mm-hmm. We didn't ask. We just knew we couldn't play.
Yeah. So
he sees the guy with the obviously bad injury, and he's like, "Do you know who Tyler?" Asking about Tyler Durden, and he's like, "Is this a test?" Like, no, it's not. Just tell me you're Tyler Durden. Casey, did you kind of at this point like, nah?
I was like, oh no, no, say it ain't so.
But he's like, you gave me this, and he shows the kiss.
I'm also just realizing, have you seen, there was a movie that came out earlier this year, sleeper hit, best Pedro Pascal movie, Freaky Tales?
Yes. I did see it after you told me about it. You mentioned it.
Okay.
You briefly mentioned it, and then I think, because I saw previews, it's really good.
It's so good. But the video store guy, that just clicked for me. Like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be that's for later. But
it's an anthology. It's an anthology movie. Like Pedro Pascal is in the saddest one.
The saddest one, but I forgot if we've talked about this, or that my fun controversial take is name a movie that Pedro's in that's good.
Yeah.
The only one, Freaky Tales.
But he's not in the whole movie. He's a part of it. He's not.
Right.
I think name a movie that Pedro Pascal is the lead in that's good. Because he's in Buffy. Buffy's good.
Right.
He's in good TV shows, and that's it.
Great TV shows.
Yeah. Freaky Tales. They're based on real tall tales from Atlanta, or where is it?
The Bay, Oakland.
Oakland, yeah. But they're real tall tales. Like there's some real things. The one about the two girls, the rapper, like that apparently that kind of happened, not like that kind of, but it really kind of happened. So there's things that happen. It's a good movie. You should watch it, Casey.
It's so good.
It's not scary. There's some blood at the end,
but it's also like, well, no, never mind.
It's over the top. It's over the top blood, so it's kind of like Kill Bill. It's Kill Bill blood.
Yeah,
awesome. It's so awesome.
Yeah. Freaky Tales. I keep wanting to say Freaky Friday.
We also got a Freaky Friday this year.
Yeah. Original Freaky Friday still holds up. I watched it. It's great. Not original Freaky Friday. Original Freaky Friday from our generation. Because I think Freaky Friday is from like the 80s or something.
Yes. Lindsay Lohan Freaky Friday.
Lindsay Lohan Freaky Friday.
And for a second, I was like, wait, there's also The Parent Trap. The Parent Trap is also Lindsay Lohan, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Also,
okay.
Great. Doesn't make sense. It's a stupid movie, but it's great. The narrator, or Tyler, I guess, now, calls Marla. And he's like, have we ever done it? And she's like, the most infuriating call ever. Like, what do you mean? Like, what kind of question is this? Like, she doesn't answer. Have we ever made love? That's why you call it? Huh? Say my name! He became Batman for a second. And she says, I think she did say Tyler Durden. And then Brad Pitt appears. Not Tyler Durden, Brad Pitt. Shaved head. Why is he shaved? I think because he's full on evil now. Looks great. I think
I think they just use it. He was probably in another movie. He had to shave his head, and they're just like, let's roll with it.
But this is my favorite Brad Pitt look, more than Legends of the Fall. Brad Pitt. This is my favorite.
He could do both. Like that's the crazy thing is like it shouldn't work, but it does.
He does. I know. Like he could go rugged cowboy. Yes, I buy it. Fashion thrift store diva with the sunglasses. Also buy that. It's great. Because he is Marla in male form. Because everything looks drifted. Everything looks cobbled together. And she, I was going to say buys, but she steals whatever clothes, like random clothes.
I forgot. This is kind of a little bit of a derail as well. But is this when he wears those round strap glasses, or was it earlier? Or
I don't think he never does that. But it's round glasses, but they're like this.
They're like very 90s glasses.
I do remember the Oakley glasses
that like go over your head.
I wanted those so bad. Everyone wanted. Yeah, those and the Matrix glasses. The glasses were big in the late 90s, early 2000s. Not so much anymore. I don't see a lot of sunglasses stuff anymore.
I feel like they are, but not as easily as marketed. You know what I mean? Like I'm sorry to point you out here, but like the clear glasses is, I think that, but like there was nothing that just made like everyone, I gotta get one. It just kind of happened. Because it's a great look. It's
too much for me to listen right now to counter your point about the clear glasses. But these are magnetic glasses, so I can change the face
Okay, whoa.
This is the only reason that I got clear ones. Because I can change the faces. Because this is I mean, this is kind of like a personal thing, but I do change my face, and I do like to hide my face behind the cap and the glasses. Like if I feel like a different personality, I'll change the glasses. And I used to buy 2 or 3 glasses, but then I discovered that you can buy this, and then you just buy the front of it.
Genius.
So now I can mix and match.
I totally get it. Beard. That's why you'll never see me unshaven. I'll have some degree of beard.
Same. I don't like myself clean shaven anymore. It's weird. Anyway, Tyler Durden appears. And he's like, "What the fuck? I told you not to tell Marla about us." Oh yeah, because he told that first thing.
It was. I think that was a while ago.
Yeah, like that was like when the first time that Marla went to the house. Tyler's split personality. Brad Pitt was smart enough to tell him not to tell him about himself to Marla. I think I got that right. It's gonna be confusing. Brad Pitt is pissed, and then we get a quick montage of the narrator seeing himself do everything that he thought he did with Brad Pitt, but he's just doing it to himself, beating himself. He is talking as Tyler Durden, as Brad Pitt. He was watching Brad Pitt with him. Like there was like some logic leaps here and there, but basically Brad Pitt explains away like sometimes you saw me as yourself, sometimes you saw me like with the crowd, blah blah blah. He accepts that real quick, by the way, which I kind of like. But yeah, it's pretty quick where he accepts that he's himself. Then after this, I started looking at my phone, and I honestly stopped paying attention to them.
No, because I feel like this is the scene where, like, you know, he's trying to defuse the bomb, and then like Brad Pitt is like being like, "Don't do it," and it's very long and drawn out.
Yeah, well, he first has a scene with Marla
at the restaurant.
Oh, yeah, that part happened.
And because now the narrator Tyler knows that something's going to happen because there's no one at the house anymore. There's some clues that they're going to blow up something. Turns out they're going to blow up everything. And he basically tells Marla, leave. And she's like, fuck you. He gives Marla a bunch of money. And she's like, this is my asshole tax, which I love. And he's like, go in this bus. Get out of here. I did notice this time around that when she goes in the bus, first, the driver is all fucked up in the face. And second, as we zoom out, the minute that she leaves, everyone in the bus stands up and goes to her.
Yeah.
So everyone, it's a very Sherlock Holmes Moriarty type of thing. Like this is Moriarty and Sherlock Holmes, but it's the same person.
I noticed the fucked up face. I didn't notice the people on the bus crowding.
I think I don't know why. Like, because I went back because I didn't know how she got back. I didn't know it was the same bus, but I kind of wanted to make sure. And then I saw all the people. Tyler, the narrator, goes to the police and tells them basically everything. I had this plan. I'm the leader of this cult. The police chief, not the same guy from before with the balls, but another guy. He's like, all right, let me check something. And then he leaves 3 detectives there. And they're like, this is very brave, sir. We're going to cut your balls off. Can I set an example? She's like, no. You told us you would say that. I am Tyler Durden. You definitely told us you would say that. And this is where, like, no, I don't think this is how people behave. But okay. This is too much.
This is people in a cult, how they behave. And that, like, I feel like that's what makes him such a good cult leader, where he's like, wow, you really did the pre-homework of, like, I'm gonna, and it still makes sense because of the like getting beat up by the club owner, that like this guy's willing to do anything for this cause. But
I feel like people are so stupid that whatever the cult leader says at the time is what's happening. They don't have any memory or like they don't have. I think they would follow the cult leader the moment that's happening, and not what he said before. But like I feel like maybe it's unfair for me to say that people in cults are stupid, because I don't think they are, but they are. I forget where I saw it, but once you're in a cult, it's harder for you to recognize that you were wrong than to get out of that cult. So you're going to follow the leader to whatever extent. So I don't know. I don't see them attacking their own leader, but I guess that was the point of the whole Fight Club thing.
I feel like it's called castration, right? I feel like castration is the point that I'd be like, man, are we wrong? You know, like that's where you'd have to really question it.
Are we the baddies?
Yeah.
It did. I think this whole scene just was written to have Edward Norton in a bathrobe without pants running in the middle of the thing with a gun. Great scene. That's the poster. That's great. And I think that's why they needed to have him take his pants off. So yeah, Edward Norton, Tyler Durden, the narrator, escapes, pulls a gun, and is running around with a bunch of papers. I guess it's the evidence, all that. And he goes to, I guess, the nearest hotel or building, office building, that he knows that it's going to blow up. You're right. This is very downtown LA / downtown Dallas. Like if you go to downtown Dallas, it's just corporate things. There's nothing else. Because not like downtown New York's not like that. I feel like there's places where it's like that, but it's not really like because there's things in New York to do.
In like very recognizable buildings, and I feel like we have some of that, but for the most part, there's a lot of just like that's a square building with windows.
Yep. Like this could also be Chicago. I feel like this is agnostic corporate downtown city. He kind of tricks himself into knowing where things are, and then this is where he gets to the basement parking lot, and he goes to the van and he finds the explosives, and then this is where he gets the conversation with himself, with Brad Pitt. So Brad Pitt again is there. Everything that he's wearing is great. Again, Brad Pitt is fucking with the narrator, Tyler Durden, and because he's trying to disarm the bomb. He's like, maybe I thought about that's the disarm, but you don't know. Brad Pitt kicks Edward Norton somehow and flies out of the van somehow. The narrator / Tyler shoots at Brad Pitt and at the explosive. Great scene again. And then we get this fist fight. Imagine
masterful acting. My God.
Yeah, like I'm so glad that this movie was done in 1999, because if it was done 10 years later, instead of Edward Norton, it would have been Jared Leto in the role of Tyler Durden, and it would have sucked.
Yeah.
You know what would have happened.
Mm-hmm.
Who would be Angel Face? I don't know anyone cute right now as Angel Face.
Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah.
You know what? Yes.
That's a good one. Mm-hmm.
Because he has that same kind of face where, like, I do kind of want to beat you up.
Mm-hmm.
You see, you're a little too full of yourself. I'm gonna beat you up.
No, I get it. Yeah, we see in the security camera's point of view that somehow Tyler Durden is beating himself up, and he's like, just, I don't know. There's magic. There's some surreal magic realism here going on. He ends up. How did he end up in the top of the building? I think his minions find him, right?
No, he somehow ties himself up.
Yeah.
And he does the thing with the gun in his mouth, and that's where like the movie starts. Because
Brad Pitt or Tyler Durden beats himself up, and then we see him at the end of the stairs, the bottom of the stairs, and then cut scene to we're back at the beginning. He's tied up. I'm going to choose to believe that he got his minions to tie himself up. Why didn't he cut his own balls again? I don't know. He's tied up in this abandoned building or abandoned floor in the building. We have generic building skyline. Brad Pitt has his guns to the narrator's head, and he's like, "Wait a minute! If you have the gun in your hand, that means that's in my hand." It's in his hand. Deus Ex Machina shoots himself, kills Brad Pitt.
Which I didn't understand because I thought like, oh, he killed himself, like the ultimate, like, but he didn't. So why does a gunshot through the mouth kill Tyler Durden?
Maybe it was just enough pain to kill Tyler.
Yeah, he connected some neurons with that gunshot.
Bullet,
it was like out of his jaw. Like that was the weird part. Yeah.
Because you see the smoke. The minions bring Marla in. They're kind of like, oh, what a tough motherfucker, he shot himself. Are they gonna cut his balls at one point? Because he still did the thing that they wanted to cut his balls for.
So here's the thing: whenever they do it to like the guy in the bathroom, and whenever they do it to like or attempt to do it, they also have like this rubber band, and so I think it's the same thing as like the empty gun, where it's like it's just a threatening technique. They're just going to cut the rubber band and nothing else. So I think it's just like a mind game.
Oh, I was going to say that I think after Project Mayhem, they're probably like, your balls can, they'll be fine.
Yeah. Because, he shoots himself. Marla is there. She's like, are you okay? This is the first time that they treat each other like a couple. Which I guess because now, I guess the narrator / Tyler remember everything that Tyler did. So now They've knows.
Combined.
Yeah.
And he no longer seems like, I mean, he is an asshole, but he's not just an asshole. He's like, oh, I guess he's telling the truth that there's this cult that dragged me here.
Yeah.
And he's bleeding from his face.
And then one of the most famous songs in the 90s starts playing, The Pixies.
I'm glad it ended there because that did, like, I actually laughed out loud. Like, it didn't ruin it, but I thought, like, wow, I can't believe this is how it's ending.
But that's one of those things. Like, it's a trope now, but it wasn't in that movie. So we see the pieces start playing. Where is my mind? And then we see a bunch of buildings implode at the distance. And I guess we're meant to believe that Project Mayhem was a success. Civilization is starting over, back to zeros. What a quaint time where if you blow up the headquarters of a credit company,
it's not on the internet.
I think it was on the internet back then too. I don't think that makes sense.
Well, I don't think things were hosted on the cloud. It's really the cloud that has fucked things up. So, like, you had probably, like, physical servers that things are backed up to, but if those servers are destroyed, everything's destroyed.
Well, true now. That is the cloud. You know this.
I mean, yeah, but, like, I feel like they've figured out a better system.
They probably weren't, like, in the Middle East, you know what I mean? Like, where our servers are now.
Yeah.
But I feel like now, in my head, I mean, I don't know if it's true, but I think this is true. There are servers, but it's not centralized. Like, if you destroy those servers, there are backup. Like, it exists in other places. Having said that, Casey and I used to work for a and there have been times where the whole network is down and everyone panics. So there are, I guess you could destroy
it things. Still happens in the apps.
Anyway, that's how the movie ends.
I could also swear there's a line earlier in the movie where they talk about controlled demolitions. Do you remember this at all?
Yes. Yeah.
And then you watch the building fall over onto another building, and I was like...
I remember that, they weren't a great cult. I mean, I guess they achieved what they wanted to do, but I kind of really want to read the sequels. But I feel like it's going to be very different. Anyway, you want to do awards? So we have 3 awards. We have Best Actor Ever, Worst Actor Ever, Best Scene Ever. Casey, Best Actor Ever.
Meatloaf. Love Bob.
Meatloaf.
I have not stopped thinking about that character, like, since I've watched this movie. Like, it is, like, I know the performances, like, in this movie is fantastic. Brad Pitt, Edward Norton, like, they are fantastic. This one stuck with me, though. Like, it's stayed.
I'm gonna give it close second is Brad Pitt. Very close second. Helena Bonham Carter. I think it's amazing in this movie. Do you not agree, Casey? You made a face.
We'll get to it. Don't worry about it.
Oh no! all right. We'll get to it. Aristotle, how about you?
I feel like I've been saying it's also so obvious. I have to say Edward Norton gets the number one, right? He's so good. Because like Brad Pitt's like, I mean, I guess not at the time, but of course Brad Pitt's a great actor. No brainer. Didn't expect this from Ed Norton.
Yeah. I mean, Edward Norton was a big name back then, but he wasn't Brad Pitt, right? And I think that's why they chose Brad Pitt as his alter ego, because he wanted like someone like Edward Norton that kind of look average looking guy. Who Edward Norton is a good looking guy, but he is average looking. He wanted to be Brad Pitt in the 90s, especially in the 90s. Casey, worst actor ever.
No, it's Helena Bonham Carter. Because
Helena Bonham Carter.
Yeah. There were moments her British accent came out, and I was like, "Lock in, girl. Come on, like let's work on it." It just it annoyed me. It took me out of the film, Jesus.
It wasn't that bad. She did great.
Okay, you're notoriously bad at picking up accents, so I do not want to hear it from you, sir.
Yeah, we've had comments on YouTube about accents.
I don't think I noticed it slip out at all, but I almost said Helena for best actor because I like believed she was that shitty, but like trying hard to be shitty in a way I was like that doesn't read as good acting, but also it's such good acting that I believe. You know what I mean?
She felt like a realistic shitty person that could have been a cartoon, because Brad Pitt was a cartoon shitty person because he was imaginary, but Helena Bonham Carter was like she wasn't It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia level shitty, but like
it
was kind of that level without being too cartoony.
Yeah, she would have loved Frank, you know.
She would have loved all Mac.
Mm-hmm.
No, not Mac. Dennis.
No, yeah, Dennis. Mm-hmm.
Dennis. Casey's just jealous because I was part of Daddy and the Boy for one brief second.
You love talking about that.
Worst actor for me is going to be Jared Leto. Because he has to be.
I'm going to second that because I not only for modern reasons, I genuinely believe that.
Oh, yeah, he was nothing, and he was just cute, and I think that was the whole point. But he also was just there. It could have, I don't know. It could have been a mannequin. It would have been.
He like, I think he plays the role well, but that isn't a compliment that he is a mindless drone follower.
I was as close to give it to Meatloaf, just because I love Bob and I love Meatloaf, but I think he was overacting a little bit. He was trying too hard to be this innocent looking dude, but it's Meatloaf, so I love him. So it's nothing. But I was this close. Best scene ever, Casey?
Probably this scene where the narrator and Tyler are at the bar. He was like, dude, just ask me. Just ask me if you can crash at my place. There's something about that conversation. I think it's very well written and very well executed.
To me, it's going to be, and this is the shortest best scene ever I've ever chosen, but is when he looks at the camera and the whole film just started to end. And that's it. Like, that sold the whole movie for me, because it could have been super cheesy, could have taken me out, but it fit the whole aesthetic really, really well. I like the tiny single scene. How about you, Aristotle?
I think there's an obvious scene because I've seen it in so many other things, but my favorite scene is the liquor store gun scene. I like that, though extreme. Still on board with the sentiment, but I do think we have to mention the point scene where he points at the splicing of film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, with the introduction of Tyler Durden.
Yes.
Or the narrator's after-hours jobs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And do we see Tyler after? Like, we don't see the splicing after he appears, right?
If we did,
it's
the end. It's so. If we did, though, that would be great, right? Or maybe not. Oh my god, I have to rewatch now. Shit.
But we did get like the one frame scene at the end, which was a fun joke. Casey, very important question. Solely based on this movie, for the last time, at least in a while, we have already said this, but it is for the last time. Solely based on this movie, was 1999 the best year ever for movies?
Yeah.
How about you, Aristotle?
Hard agree. Yes.
No, for me, I'm just kidding. Yes. No, I'm really happy that you liked it, Casey. I didn't know you were going to like it or hate it. It's one of those movies. You go either way. But it is one of those movies that it's hard to be neutral in this movie.
Except for that one Letterboxd review, I am surprised that there are people that would hate this movie. Because I kind of came in thinking I was gonna like be so anti this movie, but like it's gonna be good, but I'm gonna like it's so nice. But now I'm like, no, it's great. I love it.
Yeah,
can't hate this.
It's one of those movies that you may hate it at different or love it at different points in your life. I think it's kind of like where your mindset is at. Maybe you see it as a alpha male fantasy movie. Maybe you see it as what it is. Maybe like anti-corporation or anti-toxic masculinity. Like I think it's a movie that you can have different point of views. So it depends. Yeah. Well, Casey's hungry and yawning. I just picture Casey alone because her husband's not in the house, falling asleep with a Whataburger.
It's gonna be so great. I live like a bachelor whenever Samuel's gone. Like he home cooked all of these meals for me to make, like put in the oven. He meal prepped for me.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a precious, precious man.
Yeah. He really doesn't like it when I eat frozen food. I'm totally fine with it, but he's like, absolutely not.
And then you are ordering from Whataburger.
I know. I splurged.
But thank you, Aristotle, for again being a recurring character in our podcast.
Giving us another 2 hours.
Thank you for having me.
We're gonna go to the 80s next season. Most likely, it's gonna be 84. I think there's some surveys out there in the world, and I think most of them have been 84. So yeah, we're gonna go and watch Nightmare on Elm Street, Gremlins, Aliens. I think Aliens is 82, but there's a bunch of scary movies that I'm very excited about. Go ahead.
I'd have to look at a list because I'm excited for you, but also like, wait, what? It did come out in 84.
There's a lot of good ones. And I also kind of like that we are going 10 years before 94 when we started. So I'm excited about that too. Next week, it will probably be a movie that I choose that I really like. Scott Pilgrim versus the World. It's been a while since I've seen that movie. I love that movie. I don't know if it holds up. I think it does. But it is a movie that it's what now, like 20 years old or 15 years old?
Yes, they just celebrated it. I know they did a whole thing.
Yeah, and it's a movie that a lot of famous people now, kind of like in Fight Club, were in that movie that weren't that famous, but now they are.
Fun fact, Chris Evans holds the record for the most comic book movies, and that's one of them.
Yep. Yeah. This is the movie where Michael Cera, Punch, Captain America, and Superman, and was dating Captain Marvel.
And we've got Brie Larson. Also Anna Kendrick and a bunch of great people. But I actually was also, not to derail it even more, but I was thinking about Scott Pilgrim because I was like, I can't even imagine having 7 evil exes. I have 2. And like my life feels like hell, like 7.
Both Casey and I probably can't imagine having even 7 exes. Because how many exes do you have, Casey?
1.
1? Yeah. Me too.
It's a 4-month relationship, so like it barely counts, You
could do a lot of damage in 4 months.
This is true. Oh wait, no, I do have 2 exes. One is evil, so it's 50-50 for me. But anyway, yes. Next week is going to be Scott Pilgrim versus the World, and then we'll go to the 80s, which I'm very excited.
Woohoo!
We'll definitely be in the 80s before Christmas. Aristotle, thank you so much.
Thank you both.
Until then, see you later. Bye.
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 What club would you start if you were incredibly sleep deprived? Let us know by finding us at bestyearever_pod on Instagram and YouTube and leaving a comment, or you can send us an email at bestyeareverpod@gmail.com. And while you're at it, give us a like, leave a rating, and go subscribe on all your preferred podcast listening platforms.